Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Todd Anderson.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. Lovely to have Todd back here on Versus Live. How you doing, buddy?
I don't know what I'm doing here, honestly. It's been so long. I've been in Roanoke for, 4 months now? This is only the second time I've been on. I feel like Cedric's got it out for me, you know? I just want to come play some Magic, baby.
Well, you're here now. We're playing some Magic, and we are doing a sort of a twist on an old, format for today's show. You know, we've done this wheel, deck roulette kind of thing, usually with just 6 decks, and we kind of see how the matchups go. Now we're going to give it a different spin, and this is going to be, we're calling King of the Hill. Yeah. So we have 4 decks, and these are 4 of the most successful decks right now in the modern metagame. The Urza Saga is representing the Jund, the new Jund deck, which has Urza Saga and Ren and 6.
We call that Zoomer Jund.
Okay. Zoomer Jund.
Yes.
Then we've got, is it Murktide or is it mid-range here with the Murktide Regent? The Teferi is on top of an Azorius control deck because it turns out control isn't just a Wafatapa thing. Other people have now picking up the control decks and doing very well with it.
I mean, I'm as surprised as anyone. You know, I was expecting it. I saw the deck list from Wafo, and I'm like, classic Wafos. And then, LSV picked it up and was winning win. I was like, it's just LSV and Wafo. And then, a bunch of random people kept getting retweeted by Robert Taylor. Just
This is doing well.
Yeah,
and then,
it's a good deck.
A little Teamer Crashgate on the end with the Crashing Footfalls. So match 1, we are going to determine randomly which decks we get.
Yep.
And then for each successive match, the winning deck is going to stay on. Then we'll select another deck at random for it to play against, and we'll see at the end of the show which deck is the King of the Hill in Modern.
All right, so we're going to spin the wheel. Each deck is currently on a little arrow that is colored, and we're going to have the arrow that's closest to the person be the arrow that is theirs. So once you go ahead and spin, we'll see what deck you're playing.
So whatever color I land on will be the deck that I play in match 1.
Yep.
And I've got, looks like blue to me.
Yep, blue.
So blue is over there.
All right.
So I will be playing some Rhinos.
All right. And so whichever one lands here, color-wise, will be the one that I play. It looks like red. So we're going to be playing Azorius Control versus Teamer Footfalls. All righty. Sounds fun.
The classic battle of Rhinos against Teferis.
You know, I feel like normally this would be the point where Corey would be like, I can't believe you set this up against me because you have these Chalices of the Voids in your main deck. And to that I respond with, good call. Good game, good game, Seth.
Yeah, that might be a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple, but if I've learned anything from playing Teamer Crashgate, is that you have a lot of ways to deal with things like Chalice of the Void or permanents to sit on the battlefield. If they're creatures, you can kill them with all your removal, but if they're non-creatures, at the very least, you still have 4 copies of Brazen Borrower to petty theft them and give yourself that 1 or 2 turn window where you can actually handle it. And with Force Negation, sometimes you just need to bounce it once so that you can actually deal with it. So.
Yes, certainly not a game over, but definitely a good tool from the controller.
All right. Anything going on from chat over there, Rob, before we get started? We're going to be shuffling here for a minute. I think mine was randomized, so.
No, they're just,
Happy to be here.
Early chat, not much going on.
Oh, yeah. No poggers? No poggy daddies? Any gifted? Any gifted chat?
We did
I
have
barely
a few
understand
subs
what any
already,
of that
so that's
means.
nice.
You don't know what poggers means?
It's like one of the Pepe the Frog memes,
No,
right?
it's not.
No?
No.
Sounds like one.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
do you want me to explain what poggers is?
Not really.
Okay, then I won't. Everyone in chat knows that, and that's fine. That's
sure
all
they
that I
do.
need. Now, if you're old like Ross and in the chat and you don't know what poggers means, it just means great. That's great. So,
Yeah, play the game.
yeah, exactly. All right. High roll, so you goes first. I got 7. Yes, we still do high roll. We don't do odd or even on versus because it's more fun to battle. All right, you win. Although you didn't call odd or even, so I feel like I get to be on the play now.
That is not how it works. I will keep my hand.
I think in the dark I would keep, so sure. I'll get clapped first game. Who cares?
Play a tap breeding pool. Pass.
All right. I will play a tap steam vents. Pass.
Play a Wooded Foothills. Pass.
Upkeep.
You're good.
Go.
Fetch. I'm gonna go to 17. Oh, let's get a steam vents. There it is. And I will ice your steam vents.
All right. This means it's going to put some stuff into play, and I don't have a counter spell or anything. So I think I don't have a wrath yet. So I think I'm going to fetch and ice also just to draw a card. Because he's next turn. I guess I can maybe ice a token next turn instead. But I kind of just want to find a Supreme Verdict. We do have 3 in our deck. All right, I'm just going to get Island, cycle.
So you're at 19.
Yeah, you can draw a card, I'll draw a card. Then you can take your turn.
Yay. I like taking turns. Crack another foothills, go to 16. This one will just get a forest.
This should be my graveyard. Excuse me. I was like, my hand feels too full. All right, so 16 and 19, you're going to do some Rhinodoplising.
Yep, I've got a Shardless Agent.
Oh, it's even Shardless Agent?
Yep.
That actually sucks.
Because it is now a 2-turn clock, exactly.
Yep. I go.
Yeah.
I'll get you some Rhino boys. You can go ahead and do your thing.
There we go.
All right, I'm going to try a Teferi. Time of Reverie.
Time Revelier.
You got a force a negation for me?
Yep.
Well, I don't have anything to fight back on that, so
Pitch your Prismari command.
you're up. It's gonna be a quick one.
Ooh, Misty Rainforest, get in for 10.
I'm at 9.
Pass the turn.
Upkeep.
You're good.
Draw. Go.
End step, crack this fetch to 15.
Okay.
I'll get Catchery Triumph.
Okay.
Yeah, still in step. I will ice the Mystic Gate.
Okay.
Draw.
Yep. All right, on your upkeep, I'm
Yep.
gonna fetch. I'm gonna get an island. And I'm gonna try to charm a rhino. There's not a whole lot of windows. I need to try to take one that's untapped so that I can block. But this does allow him to like force negation without an extra blue card. But if he has, I'm dead anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I don't think I can afford to take the extra 4 damage for not being able to block. So I'm at 8 from fetch. What you got for me?
No, that resolves.
All right, you're up. Draw. The 4-color versions of Crashgate that you see every now and then have time ravelers of their own. So you may want to wait until like beginning of combat before you do something like that. But Brazen Bar is an instant, and that's the one we're worried about the most. All right, I think we're just going to go for a trade. We can deal with the 2/2. Our life total is a lot more important. You gonna outburst and deal an extra?
Yeah.
Okay. So you get 2 more rhinos. I'm gonna take 3 damage, 4 damage actually, because 1 from trample from this
Yeah,
too. So
exactly.
I'm gonna go to 4.
So you're going to take 4. Go. I do it. Oh, no, yeah, I missed a fetch. Okay. So, yeah, you're going to go to 4. I effectively have 2 rhinos because they trade the other 2 trading combat.
Yeah.
This is untapped. You're at 4. Then I will play an island and pass the turn.
Problem is, even if we're able to deal with some of this, our life total will be at 2. So we're going to be in trouble to a stomp or something.
Yeah.
So I can survive here. So I'm going to fetch to 3.
Yep.
Get planes. I'm going to try another Teferi.
A Teferi Time Raveler.
Yes.
That resolves.
All right, so now I feel somewhat safe. for now. It's not going to last too long, and I'm probably going to die to a stomp. We'll bounce one of those and draw, and I'll say go. And on your upkeep, I will ice this.
Draw, attack you for 2.
Yep.
Stomp you.
Yep. GG. I played out pretty much how I expected. Frostwing on the play with ice meant I couldn't interact on my 2 without a free spell like Chalice of the Void or a 1-mana spell like a Flusterstorm, which we don't have in our main deck. So
Yeah.
unfortunate.
If I don't have the ice and you have like a counter spell, then that game gets a lot different.
Yeah.
I probably have to pass on 3 and go for the Violent Outburst first. Kind of the first one, you have a lot more time to deal with the second one.
Yeah. And then I didn't find one of my 3 main deck verdicts, so I wasn't able to handle all the pressure. Trying to 1-for-1 that deck to death is very difficult. So. Anything for us, Robbo?
Yeah. Ugh, excuse me. Yeah, I have a question here from Esteus. So what do you think the draw of Jeskai control versus the Wafo blue-white list? Are there any particular matchups it's targeting?
I mean, the red splash for Fire Ice, I think, is kind of genius. It allows you to have a lot of play in both the aggro matchups as well as some of the control matchups. I mean, being able to tap your opponent's land on 2 sometimes just completely takes the wind out of their sails. Like either their turn 3 is kaput, or their turn 2 just means they can't interact with your hero Teferi Time Raveler on turn 3. Like, there's so much play with Fire Ice that I think the red splash is essentially free. And then like the one crumble to death in the sideboard is kind of cool. So
Yeah. And Wafa was playing a Rogern Triumph in his Azorius list anyway, because you have Engineered Explosives and Prismatic Ending.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have a dual land that also give you the 3rd color for those cards. This list is playing 2 more red lands. It has a Steam Vents and a Sulfur Falls. And the Sulfur Falls is probably unnecessary.
yeah.
So it's really just the cost of the 1 more shock land, and it gives you access to a really good card in Fire Ice, a nice cheap removal spell to deal with all these early Ragavans and DRCs and things. That is still relevant in other matchups. So you're not overloading on removal. So it's a really nice main deck card.
Chalice of Void too, which you're trying to do in some matchups. So.
Yeah. And then obviously, I mean, 1 crumble doesn't seem like a lot, but in the Tron matchup, you're real happy to have that one there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. Just very low cost, and I like the things it gives you.
All right, I'm going to be on the play for game number 2. My hand is a little weak, but it's fine. I have one of my favorite cards in the matchup, and I have some help to get there along the way.
Can you imagine telling people like 4 years ago on the SCG Tour that their Jeskai control deck now wasn't going to play Lightning Bolt, Path to Exile, or Snapcaster Mage?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Well, I always hated Path to Exile, so I'm just glad we have something that can replace it in decks.
You know what I hate is this hand, because
right,
it has the wrong Crashing Footfalls.
Oh no!
the actual Crashing Footfalls.
Now, I've suspended those quite a bit. It's not bad. It's just not good. And it's not really what you're trying to do.
Normally, I would be okay with it in a control matchup, but when you have Teferi Time Raveler in your deck, suspending things for that long is...
dangerous.
Yes.
All right, what else you got for me, Rob?
What do y'all think about Burn right now? Do you think it's just kind of not great at all, or do you think there might be a spot for it?
I mean, Burn's one of those decks that's always kind of showing up in tournaments, but like you don't really see how good it is until it kind of overwhelms the format. And then once it does that, it kind of starts to self-correct with things like Core Firewalker showing up more, Dragon's Claws, and I guess now the Sanctifier in Vec is like pro-res, kind of annoying. It's not quite like the dagger to the heart that it used to, those types of cards usually are, but I don't know. I really like the Loris builds personally. I like the ones that are kind of hybridized between Burn and Prowess, with like still playing like Boros Charms and Lightning Helix and such. But I don't know. I think it's fine. It's just not as good as it usually is.
I think it was very good a couple weeks ago, and you saw it really pick up in the metagame, and it's coming back down. So I think Burn's time to shine is kind of over. Like Todd said, like Burn is one of those decks that cycles through based on the metagame.
Burn's hot.
Yeah. So I think if you're looking to get on the Burn bandwagon, I think you missed your mark by a week or 2.
Let's be honest, though. You can always jump on the Burn bandwagon. It's always going to be fine.
It's still fine.
I've never played against a deck that I feared more than Burn, ever. Like every time my opponent goes turn 1, Goblin Guide, I'm like 30% to win this match. No matter what deck I'm playing.
It always just feels so out of my control. whenever I'm playing against Bird. I'm always just like, every game is just, I hope the top of their deck isn't a burn spell at the end.
Yeah.
Every game.
My thing is, if they suspend Rift Bolt on turn 1, I know I've won. And if they play Goblin Guide on turn 1, I know I've lost. And that's basically it. All right, how's your sixer?
Jesus.
That bad, huh?
6 lands footfalls.
Okay, well, that's what the line of mulligan's for, baby. All right, Histaeus, hit me with another one.
This is a deck that mulligans pretty well, too.
All right, one more if we got him. If we don't, it's fine.
yeah,
We'll just
I do.
make small talk.
So I don't think this doesn't really have much impact on this match.
That's fine. No one cares.
But Ross, when you're playing a more tribal deck with caverns and you're playing against a control list similar to this one, do you try to mulligan aggressively to cavern?
No. It's too important against control decks to get off to a good start and put them under pressure and disrupt them in other ways. So, Cavern is just a nice bonus to have, but it's not a card that you can aggressively mulligan towards because it doesn't actually kill them.
Well, also, one of the most important things to do against control is resource management, right? Like, if you're going to get hit with a Supreme Verdict or something, you need to be able to have a windfall of pressure afterwards. And if you are mulliganing to a specific card to play around counter spells, you're just going to end up getting beat by the removal spells. Yeah. And I think that it also kind of depends on what kind of Cavern of Souls deck you're playing as well. But for the most part, the Cavern of Souls decks are they're like building blocks, like Legos, and those types of decks get picked apart by spot removal. And so if you're mulliganing, you're just kind of playing into their game plan.
Yeah, you're showing them a Lego tower that already has some holes in it.
Yeah. All right, you're on 5.
5?
What?
5? Oh, Jesus. I mean, it's a keep, but so this one's got to go back.
Is this a mulligan to 5 Gemstone Caverns draw?
This one's got to go back.
Please tell me you have Gemstone Caverns.
I do not.
Oh, all right. Not lucky.
Island, go.
That's probably fine for me. Go. No land? Oh, you're lucky.
Go.
All right. In your turn, I'm going to ice your island so that you can't ice me back first.
Yep.
All right. Draw. Untap. Draw for turn. I don't have Teferi, which would have been what we call in the business the bee's knees. I'm going to say go. On your upkeep, I'm going to ice your island.
I will respond by cracking this fetch.
Okay, you're at 19.
I'm going to go to 17.
Dude, Fire Ice kicks so much ass. I'm so glad it's in Modern now.
And kind of one of the more underrated additions to the format, I think.
Not by me. Literally been wishing this card was in Modern for 8 years or something.
Yeah. But for, a lot of cards from 20 years ago that get added into Modern don't make a huge impact.
Yeah.
And this one, it kind of looks like, it's a mediocre removal spell, but it's just so versatile in all that it does.
And that's the key, like removal spells are traditionally like good against aggro, but bad against control. But Fire Ice really bridges that gap where Fire is really good against some decks and it's okay against others. And then Ice is okay against everything,
Yeah.
All right, target island.
I am going to ice your Hallowed Fountain.
That's fine. All right, we both draw a card and then you draw for your turn.
And I'll play this Ketria Triome that I drew on the second draw because I'm a genius.
Okay, well. All right, whatever. I'm going to try a Time Raveler, let you force it.
I will indeed force it.
All right, you go.
What do I want to pitch? I'll pitch this Brazen Borrower.
Here we go. I'm going to shortcut the Scalding Tarn. I'm at 19.
Yep. Oh, got a Shardless Agent.
That's fine.
Todd does not seem worried at all, so probably getting verdicted.
Yeah, you think I'm just going to jam my Time Raveler into a very obvious Force Negation without Verdict in
How
hand?
is my Force Negation that obvious? I was clearly land light.
Yeah, but that's why it's obvious, because you're land light.
Well, I didn't have it in my opening hand.
Well, then I'm just incredibly smart and good at playing around.
I do have a Gemstone Cavern.
That's unlucky. All right, bang. Here we go.
Okay, do it again.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Do it again, do it again, do it again.
All right, I'm at 18. I'm going to fetch again. We'll just get a tapped something or another. I'm playing a little fast. I apologize if you're unable to keep up with my lightning speed play.
I'm at 17, you're at 18?
That sounds right. Ish.
Okay, I've done my thing.
I've done it twice. Okay,
Yeah,
it's unfair.
which is almost like doing it 4 times.
I mean, checks out, I guess. I don't know.
I did the math.
All right, we're gonna eat one with an ending.
Prismatic ending. Okay.
Here you go.
I would like to attack you for 6. Oh.
Beginning combat, I'm gonna steal this thing.
Okay. I would like to show you this force negation I just drew.
I will counterspell that.
That's not good.
Mine.
No attacks. You're up.
Guess who's attacking? This guy.
13.
13, 18?
Yeah.
All right, I'll play this. Your turn.
Well, that's
Actually, no, I should just bounce it, right?
you do you.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce him. Get out of here. I know that seems counterintuitive because then he gets to cascade again, but he first has to deal with this.
Okay. Stomp to fairy.
I will counter that. So now he has to deal with it again.
Play Mysterian Forest and pass.
Okay. Draw. Tick up. Attack for 4.
I'm at 9.
I will say go.
End step, crack, fetch, go to 8.
Yep. And I mostly bounce it because I want to keep the pressure off my Teferi, and the extra card doesn't hurt. And since I had the counterspell to protect it for half a turn, I thought it was worth.
Get a Steam Events. Third blue important here in case I draw a Brazen Borrower. I can bounce Rhino and then cast the Razy Bee.
Yep. Looks like the face of a dead man. I'm going to make it really easy for you. I have a Shark Typhoon.
Fire to fairy.
Ah, crap. All right, fine. He's dead.
Shardless Agent.
That's fine.
Make some rhinos.
I gave away the game.
Yep.
Or did I? All right, we're going to make a 4/4 shark and draw a card. Put you 4.
Yep.
I should probably attack with this 2 to offer the trade, so... No, maybe not. I might
There it
sneak
is.
in lethal somewhere, somehow. Your go. I was too confident. I was cocky.
Yeah, you didn't realize that I just had a bunch of good cards in my hand. I was figuring out which ones I wanted to play.
I was just trying to speed it along so you
Yeah.
actually made a decision. So I'm just sitting there.
I was thinking about it.
I have counterspell. Is that good enough?
Yep, because I do have Fury for the Shark, but can't be another counter spell.
I drew that one. That was a hot one.
Yeah.
All right, so we're 1-1, chat.
1 and 1.
And I haven't drawn Chalice of the Void yet. Should
That's
we go
good.
to sideboarding? Should we do some sideboarding?
Yeah, we are going to take a quick break here. We'll get some sideboarding set up and then finish this first match on King of the Hill Day here on Versus Live. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Teamer Crashgade and Jeskai Control. On my side of things, just bringing in the mystical disputes here. We don't need Force of Vigor to deal with Chalice. We already have Brazen Borrower and Prismari Command that can do that. Blood Moon is not going to do enough against the deck with a reasonable number of basics. So just the disputes here. We want to cut a lot of our red removal in the control matchup. I'm choosing to cut Dead Gone, even though Gone does effectively deal with shark tokens, just because I don't want the straight-up removal spell. I'm going to keep in all my removal spells that do other things. Both Fury and Bone Crusher Giant are threats in and of themselves, and Fire Ice can cantrip or mess up your ability to, hold up counter spells and things like that. Also pitches to Force Negation. So getting all the Dead Gones out of the deck, also trimming one Fury. I think that's the next worst one just because it's so expensive. So, those are the forward some removal spells, we get our disputes in, and hopefully get to win some more of these counter wars.
Sounds good. Dead, I think specifically, it's a little wonky because it comes from the era where when something hits creatures, it only hit creatures. Nowadays, things like Unholy Heat also hit planeswalkers. Dead Gone doesn't do that, so it's mostly dead against me. Just bouncing a token just feels like a very weak card.
Yeah.
For my side of things, Spreading Seas, not really for this matchup. We want that mostly for Urza Saga, Tron decks, decks where their lands matter. Prismatic Ending, similarly mediocre against decks that don't have a lot of targets. The Rhinos being exiled for 1 mana is pretty good, but as you notice, they make 2 of them, usually, not just 1.
Yeah.
Prismatic Ending is not a true answer. It's kind of a halfway answer, which is good when you're trying to play a tempo game when you're really head on resources, like we were last time, but that's not always the case. We're going to be bringing in an Engineer Explosives to give us a little more gumph against the Rhino tokens. 4 Supreme Verdict, and 2 copies of Flusterstorm. Flusterstorm actually does wonders here, getting around Force Negations and Mystical Disputes pretty easily, being a 1-mana card that counters most of your Rhinos because usually you're casting a spell, so it ends up being counter unless I pay 3 as a default instead of 2.
Yeah, this is really the matchup that brought Flusterstorm into a lot of modern sideboards.
Yeah.
So, very important one for Todd to have here, and hopefully he never draws it.
Yeah. So Ross is going to be on the play for game number 3. This could be the last game of the match. Not sure. We might have some extra time. But while we're waiting and shuffling it up, Mr. Robbo, you got anything for us?
Yeah, I do. So the question earlier about Cavern of Souls is actually for Gemstone Caverns. Mulliganing for that. And then also Esteas asked a follow-up that might be relevant is, what makes you think to add that to a mana base?
So again, I wouldn't mulligan aggressively for Gemstone Caverns because it's going to exacerbate the issue.
Yep.
So once again, it's just kind of a bonus that you have in your deck. And really what I'm looking for is how much you benefit off of jumping that mana. So I always think of Gemstone Caverns in decks that wanted to like play Chalice the Void on turn 1.
Bingo.
That's a big one in different kind of prison decks.
Yeah, and while your deck isn't like a Chalice of the Void deck, like you function in a lot of the same ways where you're aggressively skipping your turn 1 to try to do these like bigger and better things because of your Cascade deck building parameters.
Yeah.
And so the Cavern just fits so well in that deck. This version we're playing plays 3. I've seen some people only play 1. Most people play 2 for a long time, but I think 3 is on the money.
Yeah, and I agree with you. All the interaction here, or at least a huge portion of it, is 2-mana cards. So if you want to interact on turn 1 on the draw, which is really important to do now with Ragavans and things floating around, you really need to get to 2 mana. So a lot of it is just in the deck's curve, and it's usually decks that are trying to skip 1 mana for whatever reason. Well, it's whether it's because of Cascade and the way their deck is built, or because they're trying to play Chalice the Void and take advantage of that powerful hate piece. Decks that are trying to skip 1 and are going to work really well with Gemstone Caverns because those kind of decks can really fall behind on the draw because, again, you're not interacting on turn 1, and Cavern lets you maintain that parity, and you're usually able to make up that card advantage later, whether it's by making multiple Rhinos or leaving your opponent stranded with dead cards in hand because of your Chalice.
So I look at Gemstone Caverns in a unique way. I just consider it as stealing the play. You technically get rid of a card when you play it, but you're immediately reimbursed on your draw step, but that you wouldn't normally have if you were on the play. I also think that you really need to be able to use the colorless mana, which I think your deck does really well with all of the adventure cards because they all have a colorless mana symbol in the cost. So when you're on the play, it's not as detrimental to your casting of spells.
Yeah, you definitely need to have some use for it at its normal mode because you're not going to have it with the luck counter on it every single time.
True.
So, yeah, good point. Got to prepare for that.
All right.
I will keep my hand.
I'll keep.
I will play Misty Rainforest.
Okie
Pass
dokie.
the turn. And step, correct, Misty. You get Ketria Triome.
You're 19.
It's fancier now because I used a different inflection.
Ketria Triome. Is Triome just a made-up word? Is it just like biome, but triome?
I think so.
Cool.
Also, it's Ketria Triome.
Is it?
No.
Ooh la la.
Okay, got my land here. I'm at 19. I got a Colonnade over there. What is it, 2016?
Look, I didn't build this deck, okay? I am
Todd's
just
been
a
away for
copy
versus
paster.
for longer than I thought. Let's play a Scalding Tarn and pass the turn.
Upkeep.
Now you're good.
Draw. Chalice of the Void. For X equals 0.
That resolves.
Here we go.
And Subcrack Tarn.
Sure. Have you 18?
Yep. Let's get a Steam Vents, I guess.
Okay.
Where are you?
Are you going to tap?
Yeah.
All right. While you're getting it tapped, I'm actually going to go ahead and fetch an island. No, I'm going to get a Howled Fountain.
Tapped or untapped?
Untapped.
So
I'm doing this now because I don't want Ross to have a point where he can like ice me and then do something. Maybe it doesn't matter. Oh no! If I say go and I fetch during his end step, Ross can go Prismari command to kill this while I'm tapped out. That's why I'm doing it. See, I knew why I was doing it a second ago, and I forgot. So 17, 18.
Yep. I will take 2 to 16 for this stomping ground.
Yep.
And pass the turn.
Draw turn. Castle Vantress. Here you go.
On your end step, I will Petty Theft to Chalice of the Void.
That's fine. I don't mind it getting bounced. I mind it getting killed. I can fight over whatever he's doing on his turn, and then maybe clean up and play Chalice again or whatever. Now, he can force it, which is kind of scary, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Pass the turn.
All right, so this is probably like a Violent Outburst or something. So I'm actually going to use my mana efficiently here, and I kind of need to hit some more land drops over the next few turns, so I'm going to try to draw 2 cards.
Well, I will Violent Outburst in response.
That's fine. So I'll draw 2.
Yep. And get my rhinos. Where are you? There you are.
You got them over there.
You're up.
All right, draw for turn. Going to attempt a Chalice on 0.
Resolves.
I'm going to play Supreme Verdict.
You're a jerk.
Here you go. This is what we call covering all your bases. Ross knows a lot about that because he just started playing softball.
I will cast a Bone Crusher Giant.
Yeah.
Pass the turn.
The alternate mode of that deck of like turning into 3 mana adventure beatdown is actually not that bad.
Yeah. It would be a lot better if I had gotten 1 attack in with the rhinos. I'd like this game a lot more if Todd were at 9.
All right. I'm going to go to 14, and then I'm going to go to 12, and I'm going to Prismatic Ending this thing and leave open 2 mana.
I had you at 17.
Yeah, I'm fetching to 14, and then I'm taking 2 from the
From the Bone Crusher. Okay.
Bone Crusher.
Yeah, good call. Okay.
Yep, that's exiled.
Bone Crusher exiled.
Your turn.
So then you look at that Steam Vents.
You know, it's not like you played with Bone Crusher enough in Standard to know what it does, you know?
Yeah, I just...
Look, mister.
Hey, you're the one
Who asked you?
You're the one who knows what it did.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair.
Pass the turn.
Draw for turn. So he's probably just going to play Brazen Borrower here. So I'm going to play a Teferi, Time Raveler. See what he does. I'm assuming he's going to cast it in response, and then I'm just going to bounce it. So I'm going to play my land first.
I will force a negation pitching a Shardless Agent.
Shardless Agent. Interesting. Okay, I'll counterspell it.
Dispute your counterspell.
Okay, dispute on counterspell resolves, and then I'm gonna fetch, and I'm gonna Flusterstorm this for 1,000.
Jeez. Brings you to 11.
Yeah.
I will cycle an ice in response.
Okay, all right.
And now I'm sad.
All right. So Teferi comes in. I'm just going to tick up because I kind of want to save it for the borrower bounce if I need to. All right. So you have me at 11. You're at 16, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Play footfalls, play borrower,
Mm-hmm.
or play foothills, not footfalls. Sorry. Pass the turn.
Don't worry. I know what you're talking about. Go.
Instep, crack this, go to 15. Guess I'll get a breeding pool to complete my set.
All right.
This is like Teamer Tron.
It was kind of fun when I was playing the 4-color version. I would get to fetch Triumph sometimes, and I always felt like I could do anything afterwards. I could even put Hinterland Harbor in my deck. No one would care.
It'll probably work out just fine.
Yeah. All right, so I'm not trying to debate you. I do have this Colonnado here, so I'll let you do what you will on that.
Jesus. My draws have not been kind. Pass.
That's okay. All right, end of turn. I'll cycle a Shark to fin for 4. Yeah. Untap. Draw of turn. Bounce. I'm going to play Chalice of the Void on 3. I'm going to let him do some bar stuff if he wants, but that's it. All right, this Chalice of the Void has 3 counters on it. I'm going to hit attack for 4. I couldn't decide between 2 and 3. 2 stops all the Brazen Bar shenanigans, but 3 stops a lot of stuff.
11 all?
Yes.
Done after that?
Mm-hmm.
Fetch to 10.
Okay. Oh, is this Fury? Uh-oh. That's pretty good.
Oh, no. I wish it was Fury.
You're like, this is way worse than that.
Yeah. Not even close.
Yeah.
I'll think a bit about how I want to play this.
I should have just done it for 2. That was stupid. Thinking back. I've made my decision. I'm sticking with it. Probably should have just attacked for 4 instead of playing Chalice to begin with.
Bounce the Chalice on 3.
So what 3-mana thing is he gonna do that punishes me? Just cast it? No way, right? That's horrible. It has to just be something else. Okay. It's back in my hand.
Cast Borrower.
Wow. Okay.
You can
okay.
go.
Okay. That's your big finish? Oh, that for a drop of blood. Okay.
It can't be that. That's horrible. I'm just looking at my hand like, you don't even know.
All right. Tick up. I don't know what to do. I guess I should just do the same thing. Yeah, whatever. Type for 4.
I'm at 6.
Go.
Go.
Yeah. I'm going to hold up some mana. Make your life a bit harder. Is your hand just like 6 Cascade cards? Or
3 of them and a Crashing Footballs and another Borrower.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I wanted to see.
Just drew way too many Cascade spells that game.
Maybe you should bring in the what you call it? What's that pitch card?
Force of Vigor.
Yeah.
Yeah, really needed Prismari commands instead of Prison Borrowers there. Needed the permanent answer with how flush my hand was.
All right, we have about 15 minutes if you want to try to play 2 more so we can do a best of 5. Or we can just guarantee to play 1 more, but then we might have a tie. And that would suck.
Let's keep playing.
All right. I mean, I'm down. I would like to play the same matchup on Versus Live all day, one day, but
That's 3 hours.
yeah, if it's a good matchup. This one, no. I don't want to play, 10 rounds or whatever. The whole point of Versus originally was supposed to just be like, hey, play test this matchup and put it on camera or whatever. And it became something else, but
As things tend to do.
yeah.
Now we're teaching evolution to the kids.
Wow, I can't believe that.
They're going to be really mad.
Also, as far as a meta perspective on Versus Live, there was a question Estais had, and is, Ross, do you think you get equity against Todd because your deliberate style of play makes Todd play loose to give us a snappier show?
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Todd's playing loose no matter what I do.
That's not true. If we were playing for stakes, I'd be playing tight. You would have no chance.
Are the marbles not stakes enough?
Yeah, I just don't think I can keep another
I
hand
won them
that-
last time, and they didn't come home with me. That's all I'm saying.
don't
Ross
think
is mulliganing again.
I have 2 crashing footfalls in my hand.
Again? I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's 2 too many,
That's true.
which is kind of like 4 too many.
Question.
Yeah, another one. So are you all still feeling good about Grixis Death Shadow as a pick in the meta right now?
Yeah.
So the Grixis Death Shadow as it stands now, I think, is just significantly different than what a Death Shadow deck has constituted over the past 5 years. I would say now that the Death Shadow decks are kind of just like Delver decks that just play Death Shadow because you already play Thoughtseize and 8 to 10 fetch lands. And so, like, Death Shadow just gets to be your 1-mana Tarmogoyf in the Grixis colors. You're not playing Scourge, you're not playing Temur Battle Rage.
You are playing Dress Down, which is kind of like Battle Rage in a lot of spots.
Yeah, the dress down versions are quite cool. I do think dress down with Death Shadow is really awesome, and dress down has a lot of applications in other matchups. So that aspect is nice. But you're not playing like Scourge of the Conclaves. You're not playing Temur Battle Rage. It's not quite as the same as it usually is.
Yeah, it's not as aggressive. No Dismember, no Street Wraith.
Yeah, you're not like attacking your life total. You're just like controlling it aggressively.
Because you have enough other threats that you don't have to be that reliant on the actual Shadow.
How's your 6?
Not very good, but I'm going to keep it.
All right, you go.
I will lead on a Wooded Foothills and pass the turn.
You go.
Let's get our Trio May.
So something, if you notice, I did in game 1 that I'm not doing this game is game 1 I led with a land that could be iced, and that allowed Ross on the play to go turn 2 ice, turn 3 Cascade card, and honestly things fell apart from there because I just couldn't interact in the right spots. So this game I've decided to lead with fetch, and since I have 2, keep myself insulated from that line.
Todd is learning.
Well, it's something I always knew. My first land was just like a Colonnade or something the first time, or tap. I could have played around it. I chose not to, and got punished. So.
On your end step, let's crack. Go to 18.
Okay.
Get an island, and I will stomp you.
Ow.
Here I am. Stomp you like a hurricane. That's how the song goes, right?
Yeah. If it's not, I'm calling my manager.
Try that at karaoke next week, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got 18 up. And now I've got a Gemstone Caverns and a Bone Crusher.
All right. I'm going to just counterspell it, I guess. How much am I taking?
At least 2.
At least 2. Take 2 more.
So you're at 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured this would be Island Hallowed Fountain.
You are correct.
18 to 14. I'm doing nothing.
You could have argued that, oh, Todd, why didn't you counterspell the stomp? Because then you would have got both halves. Well, there's this thing called mana usage, leaving your shields down, and Ross very obviously having Cascade cards in hand. Drop.
Todd keeps giving me way too much credit for how good my hands are.
not giving you anything. I would argue I'm taking it. Here you go. Here comes Cascade plus Dispute, GG.
Okay, Shardless Agent, Cascade.
All right, try to counter the Rhino.
Yep, that's good.
Woo! I just assumed I was getting disputed. I thought that was his like master plan 4-turn setup.
That would have been nice.
Yeah.
I
He
just
gets a 2-2, and that's why Shardless is good in this spot. The 2-2 is actually relevant. You know, I'm already
Yeah.
at, what, 16 for my lands.
you're up.
You have burn spells in your deck, like Stomp and such. All right. Go.
Instead of Crack This Fetch.
Yeah, you're at 17, I think. Third fetch.
Yeah.
All tapped.
Guess
/ non-dealing damage.
we'll get a Stomping Ground to go with our island. Give us 2 of everything. You got what, like 5 in hand?
I do have 5.
That's a lot. Draw. Attack you for 2.
14.
Pass the turn. Well, you're at 12.
I'm going to draw 2.
Right.
I have a Stomp, 2 shocks, a fetch. Yeah, 12. All right, draw 2.
Draw 2. You got 3 in hand?
Yeah, 4.
4? 4?
You just keep repeating all the same things I'm saying. You know. I don't...
Okay, I'll counter that.
Okay, it's exiled. Draw for turn. So, Ross and I were talking about this card a minute ago about how I think I should side it out. And he said, I think you need one because it's really good. And it's just the best top deck possible. Draw a card.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you might have another force negation. You know, I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop. All right. Untap these 2. Here you go. I'm sorry. It's just really good. Like, I feel like you can't possibly win anymore, is what I'm saying.
Attacked Fairy. Evoke Fury, Pitching Fury.
That resolves.
Kill this thing.
All right, fine.
I took a lot.
I still think you lose. You know,
Yeah.
that was a lot of resources, and I still drew a card off of it. And that is was it 2019 Planeswalker or 2018 Planeswalker? That's 2018. Okay. Not quite.
Still not good.
Go.
But I'm not out of it yet.
That's true.
Attack you for 2.
10.
Pass the turn.
Draw 2 off Archmage.
That's fine.
I'm gonna go ahead and fire this.
Fire it.
Yeah, I drew fire.
You
Fun.
can't fire me. I quit.
Fun. What's the acronym? The magic acronym? Fun. Not interactive. Imagination.
Replayable.
Replayability.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Suspend.
That's your big finish. Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right. I'll make 5/5 and draw a card. Dude, Shark Typhoon is so dumb. I love this card so much. Anything while I'm tapped out? Attack.
12.
I'm gonna try a Time Reveler.
I would like to Force of Negation.
1 card in
Your
hand.
Time Raveler. 2. 2 in hand.
All right. Counter draw. I will take this up to 5. I haven't played a land yet. I can hold this Triumph, but I think I'm just going to play it because I have the Castle Vantress and a bunch of stuff to do. So
Fetch to 11.
also, minusing puts us vulnerable to all sorts of burn spells. So.
Don't want to shock here because I want to keep this Shark as a 3-turn clock. I do have something to do, and it's another Fury. Deal 4 to Fairy.
Did.
Nothing like having a Fury when your opponent has 2/5 toughness things.
Oh yeah, we've I didn't try to play around it, but I was able to play around it.
Yeah.
Which feels, how do you say, Phil S. Goodman? All right, hang on.
I'm at 6. I'm at 9.
Your go.
What falls to 2?
Kill Teferi loot.
Yep, that's the plan.
It's good.
Pass.
Upkeep.
Upkeep, ice your shark.
It's fine. Shark down. Draw for turn. Attack for 3. I gain 3.
6 to 13.
So I got. Go.
What falls to 1? Pass the turn.
All right. I'm going to cycle Shark Typhoon for a bunch. And hope you don't have double bounce spell.
Well, I have bounce spell for the big one. And then I have violent outburst to block the solitude.
Oh, I guess you are 1.
Yeah.
You will be. Okay.
I got to live.
Man.
I get to live. I did just go through 2 more of my Brazen Borrowers on that Cascade, but I guess I could potentially chump block the next turn.
Yep. That's a good draw. Okay. Attack for 5, put you to 1.
Yep.
And here we go.
Upkeep, Crashing Footfalls.
Resolves.
So many rhinos.
I know.
Draw.
Or should I say, or I know.
I will say you're filling Corey's spot wonderfully with that, but you know.
Oh, thanks. I'm at 7. Or
At
I'm
5?
at 5, yeah.
Go.
Actually, I'm going to attack this dude.
Cast.
Cast.
Stomp you.
D-knock. Flush Storm. Even if I lost, I had a verdict to make sure I didn't die. But
Yeah, and then you have the castle to start digging for more gas.
yeah, but I'm out of Shark Typhoons, I think, at that point. So, and my Teferi.
Oh.
Ooh, what if my only way to win was to steal your rhinos? That would have been cool.
Awkwardly, in game 3, I drew too many Cascade cards when you had the answers. In that game, you didn't really need them because I just didn't draw the Cascade cards, but that meant I didn't have any pressure.
Yeah, and then I just got to beat you down with some sharks.
Yeah. The awkward thing was I ended up getting stuck on 4 lands with 3 Furies in my hand, which is not great.
No, it's not. This isn't really the match of 4 Fury, but sometimes like casting it for 5 mana in the deck's pretty good. I've kind of leaned kind of heavy on lands in that deck, playing 24, sometimes 25. Get a Seagate Restoration in there. The extra Gemstone Caverns kind of counts as half a land. You got to make some concessions every now and then with stuff like that so that you can actually double spell or actually hard cast your pitch cards. So.
Yeah, definitely. But good stuff from the control deck so far. Control deck is King of the Hill for match 1, and we'll see which of the other 2 decks I'll be playing in match 2 when we come back. Just do 5-minute break.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Yeah, we got plenty of time. We're going to take a 5-minute break. We will be back with a match 2 on King of the Hill Day here on Versus Live. Don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
I'm Todd Anderson.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are welcoming back Todd Anderson this week on Versus Live. If you couldn't join us for the first segment, we're doing a little King of the Hill style show here. We had 4 decks that represent really some of the best performing decks in the modern metagame right now. Picked 2 of them at random. Todd was able to take that first match down. So currently, Jeskai Control is the King of the Hill, but we got 2 real heavy hitters left in the field. Little Is It Midrange with Murktide Regent, and then the Jund midrange deck that uses Urza Saga and Renin 6 grew really popular over the last week or 2.
Yep.
And should be very good against Control. Urza Saga is just an excellent card in that matchup. So some scary stuff to deal with here from the Control side, and we'll see if Todd can keep the streak going. I'm going to be spinning. We'll use this green indicator to determine which deck I get.
Just say odd or even.
Yeah. So let's do odd and even, or for Murktide, even for Saga.
Okay. All right. So on your green arrow, you are hitting right on the split. That's the. Let's roll it again.
Kind of ridiculous.
Look, we didn't make this paper piece of junk. I blame Commander Versus. Look, let's get Suarez in here so I can holler at him. All right.
Okay.
Odd.
Odd is Murktide. So.
All right. So it's going to be is it tempo deck or however you want to call it? What are we calling it?
Is it mid range?
Is it mid range?
Yeah, is it mid-range?
That's such a.
Don't get yourself fired.
Oh, again? All right. Just checking over my list here real quick to see if I have any sideboard cards for the matchup. Not really.
Your Flusterstorms are probably pretty good.
Yeah.
We're going to be fighting some counter wars.
I noticed a slight mistake in my sideboarding. There should be one main deck. Rest in peace. So
That could be pretty good in this matchup.
yeah,
Stops the Murktides, makes DRC a permanent Mons Goblin Raiders.
yeah.
Do you have Mons Goblin Raiders pulled up, Rob? No. His own? No?
No. Can't
Weird.
believe you don't have Mons Goblin Raiders pulled up, Rob.
How are people going to know the weird cards from the 90s that I reference if you don't have all of the arts at your fingertips? Just 20,000 cards. How will they know?
I mean, you could tell them what the card is. I guess.
Okay, so Mons Goblin Raiders is a 1 red mana.
Yeah. It's a 1/1.
It's a 1/1.
It's a goblin.
Hold on, it's a goblin. That's it. Man, we sure have come a long way, with what magic cards do. They used to not do anything. Now they do so much.
Yeah. A Goblin Hero was just a vanilla 2/2 with no abilities.
Yeah, what kind of hero is that? It used to be a rare
Yeah.
because it could block. Like,
yeah. Two mana 2/2
Two mana
that can
2/2s
block.
used to not be able to block.
Too powerful. That was Goblin Raider. 2/2 block.
I've played Goblin Raider and Constructed before.
So I'm on the play
Yeah.
with Todd having won match 1, and I will keep.
I'm gonna get clapped, but I'm keeping.
Yeah, this red one drops a little better than Mons Goblin Raider.
That's a me yikes. Here you go.
Attack.
I don't know if any of you have been hit by a Ragavan before, but it does not feel good, and also you lose usually.
Oh, I'll
so-
cast this to Fairy. Was that a good hit? Like white man with his treasure.
That was all.
So I'm not sure. You don't play like Brazen Powers of your own to bounce it. But you're also not putting anything. I guess you could have Chalice of the Void. So yeah, I'm gonna plus the Teferi and pass.
Go. I'm not. Whatever.
Get in for 2. You're at 16. Make another treasure. That one's a brick.
Yeah. 16 to 20.
Yep. Okay, I will. Bounce the Chalice.
Not looking so good.
I will play a DRC.
Sure.
I will crack a Scalding Tarn, go to 19, and get an Island.
All right, I want to try to play best of 5. I'm just going to concede, probably.
Hold on.
Hold on. Not done yet.
I have a Thought Scour, targeting myself. Mill that with the Surveil.
Yeah, when you cast Thought Scour with a DRC in play, unless your opponent's playing mill specifically, you should almost always put the card into the graveyard.
Yeah.
Because
So
you can't draw it, because you're going to mill too. So.
still no Delirium, so I will pass the turn.
Okay. Well, lucky for you, I don't have Lightning Bolt in my deck. Spreading Seas, targeting Spiral Bluff Canal.
I'll float a red.
All right, I will concede now because I have a land drop. Is that okay?
Well, I have a Bolt.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to draw an
when you played my Teferi on turn 2, my hand was Counterspell, Archmage Charm, Archmage Charm. Okay? Just want to be clear on that. Ragavan. Cool card, Brad. Thanks for making that one, bro. I hope he's watching right now and he's just like gets real defensive about it or whatever. It's like, I love Ragavan. I've played it a bunch already, but like, man, being on the receiving end of Ragavan is
Hitting the Teferi on turn 2 against control that's dirty.
yeah.
I felt a little dirty, like I need to go wash my hands or something.
There's some hand sanitizer on the table, so
Yeah. Let's clean that up a little bit.
Okay, come on. You're gonna get you're gonna make the cards all clean. They're nice and dirty. All right, don't clean
There we
them
go.
up.
Also, I thought Brad said his Murktide region was his fault.
He made a bunch. You know. I guess he probably didn't make Ragavan. He said it was his favorite card in playtesting, and it's one of my favorite cards from the set too. It's just incredibly powerful. It's just probably too good.
It's hard to say if any of the 3 are too good, but giving them all 3 is definitely too much. When the 3 I'm talking about are obviously
Unholy
Ragavan.
Heat, DRC, Ragavan.
Yeah, like that trio of red 1-mana spells.
Did you like how hard it was at first for us to realize how stupid Unholy Heat was?
Yeah.
Because I was like, I mean, this card's fine. I'm going to play like 2. And then it's like, 3. And then it's like, it's replacing Lightning Bolt now in some decks. And that's like, well, okay, I guess. All right, I'm going to keep my hand. It is not great.
Actually, the Jund list we have coming up for match 3, it plays 4 Unholy Heat, 2 Lightning Bolt.
No, I know.
Which is...
I wrote my article last week all about the Urza Saga deck with Ren and 6. Here we
go. Crack a Flooded Strand, get a Steam events.
Okay.
1 Steamy Boy. Where is it? There we go. Are you just going to tap land there?
I don't know.
Oh, no one knows.
It's Schrodinger's Fetch Land. I'm doing this to save time, but if you do something I don't like and I want to change my mind, I still can.
Perfect.
It's called shortcutting.
I'm going to 17 and I'm playing a DRC.
That's an EDH trick.
Yeah.
I don't do it in tournaments usually. Usually I just fetch main phase because I don't care.
DRC good?
17. DRC is fine.
Okay. I don't play a Bauble and Surveil.
That's fine.
Put this land in the graveyard, and on my turn, I'll Bauble you. Draw on your upkeep.
Okay.
You can draw your Steam Vents. Going to 17.
Go. No, I'm at 19.
Okay.
I changed my mind.
Thought Scour myself, Surreal.
It's real results. All right, I'm going to counterspell the Dotscar.
Well, I milled a creature anyway, so attack for 3.
Yep. I'm going to Solitude Pitch Verdict. You're gonna go to
Okay,
20?
I go to 20. DRC and gone, and I'll pass the turn.
It's kind of what I was hoping. He would just miss his land drop.
Oh, I didn't play a land yet? This is my turn 3? Thought you were on the play this game.
I was on the play.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. All right. I'm going to play Steam Mints, tap and say go. On your upkeep, I'm going to ice your Steam Mints. This hopefully lets me keep him off of like a Murktide for a turn or something, but maybe not.
Island go. No Murktide for me.
Whee! Go. There's a lot of cards in here. Which is kinda scary.
Scalding Tarn go.
Okay, draw. Well, I'm going to try for this one. That was a good top deck. There's only one of these in the main, but damn if it ain't good sometimes. Graveyard decks are some of your worst matchups because you're trying to play this like fair game. It's kind of like the same as the main deck. What you call them?
Tilt.
The chalices. It's just similar vein. All right, trigger this. Graveyards get exiled.
Yep.
I'm gonna say go. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm
gonna crack this Tarn.
Have you going down to 19 and I'm at 18?
It should be going down to 6. Oh no. Well, because I
you
gained
gained
off
3.
Solitude. Yep. Yeah. 19 to
18.
18. Yep, that's what I have. Perfect.
And I'm done.
And you have 1 card in hand?
Yes.
Okay, so Todd, pretty out of resources. Does have the castle, though. That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Hope I win this game with 3/3 Murktide Regents. That
Me
I paid
too.
7 mana for.
I've hard cast a Gurmag Angler in my day, you know.
That was best possible.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
The one of Brazen Borrower.
No, I will dash Ragavan.
All right, I'm at 16. You get treasure and a look.
Ooh. I will ice your rest in peace. Got him.
I mean, it does tap. Someone told me when I was like 16 that you couldn't tap an enchantment, and I laughed at him.
And so Ragavan comes back.
Yep. Draw for turn.
Tapping it just means it doesn't work for that time, right?
It used to with certain artifacts.
Yeah. You're good.
Instead of correct this turn, go into 18. And get the Steam Vents. You got 2 in hand, didn't pull out land. That's scary.
Just means my hand is too prismatic ending.
That's what I'm hoping. It's the reason you dash Ragavan a lot.
Dashed to death. My hopes are dashed.
So we got 18 all right now.
I have myself at 16 from
16.
the Ragavan.
Oh, from the
attack.
Ragavan, yep. 16, 18. How silly of me. Okay, I will dash Ragavan.
Okay.
I would like to declare an attack.
Sure. All right. I'll cycle Shark Typhoon for 3 and hope you don't have a bolt.
I do indeed have a bolt.
Okay. Shark down.
Ooh. Get a second treasure. I'll pop one of those treasures for white and
God.
prismatic ending the rest in peace, which means the ending goes to your graveyard. Then I'll play this Spire Bluff tapped and pass the turn with this Ragavan going back to my hand.
That's the most demoralizing turn I've ever had. Teferi.
Sure.
Tick up. Go.
1 card in hand?
Yep.
Okay. Now I have the choice of what to do with the Ragavan. Do I want to just attack Teferi? Or do I want to keep getting treasures and looks at the top of Todd's deck? So far, the looks I've gotten with Ragavan have been really nice.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's one of those cards that's also just like kind of busted in a blue v blue matchup, or like when you have access to a bunch of lands. Like dashing on 2, unlikely you're going to get to play a spell, but dashing on 8, it's like, 50-50 whether you get a playable spell or not.
Okay. Dash Ragavan. I'm going to go for Todd. I think the upside is just super high.
All right, 14.
To 12, right?
Sure. Probably missed last round.
You had 2 fetches, a shock, and this is the second time I hit you. I will then play a DRC.
Okay.
And instead of Ragavan comes back.
Okay. Draw for turn.
Oh, and I get another treasure.
Bounce. Chalice for 1. Gonna fetch to 11 and get an island and say go.
That's not good.
It's not good for you. It's good. It's great for me.
You're at 11.
Yeah. Or should I get plains? Probably plains. Got plenty of blue. This is on 1. Is your hand literally all 1-drops, or?
I will play Expressive Iteration.
The results.
Wow. Oh, well, I guess that actually doesn't do a whole lot, right? Let's actually think here. Let's put the 1 mana spell on the bottom.
Okay.
Let's put iteration here, I guess.
Okay.
And cast a second iteration.
Sure.
Exile Bauble. Put that to my hand. Crappy land can go there. I will play the bauble. Bauble you. Okay, that's at least good to see. And then I will cast a Murktide Regent. That'll be a 5/5.
Sure.
Pass your turn, upkeep, I'll draw.
I'm going to scry 2.
Sure. Something tells me that land went to the bottom.
Yeah. Draw for turn.
Yep.
Take this up, and then I'm just going to play another one.
Yep.
Okay, so this comes in 4. I'm going to play my land. I'm going to go ahead and fetch to 10. I'll bounce it. I'll draw a card, likely done after that, but I'll let you know. One moment. You drew off your bauble yet?
Yeah.
All right. Draw off the fairy. Go.
I would like to draw 2 cards with Archmage's Charm.
Resolves.
Play a Scalding Turn. I would like to draw 2 cards with Archmage's Charm.
Okay.
Oh, I've got 10 cards in my hand.
Okay, I'm going to scry 2 before you discard if that's your last action.
Yeah.
Okay, scry 2. And I'll keep 1 on top, 1 on bottom.
That's not good. I'll discard 3 1-mana spells.
Okay. Untap. Draw for turn. Take this up. Say go.
Play Expressive Iteration.
Okay.
Get my land. Crack this fetch. Go to 17. Not sure what I can really draw.
Maybe that deck should play like 1 Prismari command, huh? Main deck Chalice popping up a bunch. Sometimes they play a Borrower. I'm not sure if that version has a Borrower or not.
This list has a Snapcaster in that spot.
Rip.
I would like to draw 2 cards.
It's fine.
I would like to play a Murktide Regent.
In response, I'm going to scry 2. Two on top. I'm just going to counter the Murktide.
Okay. 8 cards in hand. I'll pitch this Spell Pierce.
Okay. Your go.
Don't want to plus to fairy.
Yeah, sorry. Good call.
You got 2 in hand. Let it strand go.
And turn off Act Fiction.
Oh, God. Man, this game is going so well for me, and then you cast Chalice the Void, and now I'm very dead. Like, you have Chalice to Fairy in hand, and it just, or in play, it just shuts off my entire hand.
Yeah. You're conceding?
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally the only relevant cards I have in my deck are Murktide Regents, and you just found answers to the next, at least 2 that I draw.
True. All right. That was a pretty long game. We're going to shuffle for a minute. If you got anything for us, Rob. If not, we might want to take a break and just do sideboarding. I don't know how you feel about it.
What time we got? Yeah, we could do some sideboarding. We can take a question first, though, if you got one, Rob. Okay. Well, because this match is probably going to be end best of 3, unlike the last one that we were able to stretch, We'll take a break now, get some sideboarding in, so we get at least 2 post-sideboard games. So we're going to take a short break, get that set up, and then finish this match between Is It Midrange and Jeskai Control. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to a Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Is It Midrange and Jeskai Control. I said before the break that we only played 1 game. Both Todd and I managed to forget about the actual first one we played because it was over so quickly.
Hey, you played turn 2 Fairy Time Raveler in your blue-red deck.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I forgot. I enjoyed it so much. But we are 1-1, so we probably have time to stretch this to a best of 5. We'll see how this third game goes. Could definitely go long. But on my side, not a lot of changes to make. Just bringing in some counter spells. And I know I want to cut down on my removal as much as possible. But with Todd having like Celestial Colonnade, Big Teferi, even Little Teferi can get up there in loyalty, and potentially Big Sharks, I didn't want to just cut 3 Unholy Heats straight up. So I'm deciding to leave in 3 bolts and 2 Unholy Heats. I do think Bolt is slightly better. It can easily finish off Planeswalkers, but its ability to just go upstairs to finish off games is very nice. So I'm going to try that split. Not entirely sure that it's right, but I like to favor Bolt there.
My side, we're doing something that might seem a little counterintuitive for playing a mono blue control deck, basically. The counter spells are integral to your interaction in game 1, but in this matchup specifically, because I know Ross is bringing in Flusterstorm, and because his primary means of attack are creature-based, my counter spells are actually like kind of bad sometimes. And I think specifically they're bad when I'm on the back foot, so I want most of my cards, if not all my cards, to play well when I'm behind. And because we're on the draw, it's doubly important that is the case. So we're going to be bringing in a boatload of removal. We're going to be heavily relying on Supreme Verdict to basically clear the way whenever things start going really badly. We're going to go up to 4. The Engineer Explosives helps give me that cheap sweeper for the Ragavans and the DRCs, just like some way to deal 2 for 1 whenever he has the double creature starts. The Solitude, an extra removal spell. The Mystical Dispute, a way to win a cheap counterfight if necessary. It also is a 1-man answered Murktide Regent, which is one of your most tough cards for me to deal with, because specifically Prismatic Ending doesn't do it. And then 2 Celestial Purge. I think this is one I'm kind of on the fence on. I like it because Ragavan, especially dashed, is such a problem for me that just having a couple more ways to deal with your 8 1-drop threats is important. And I think just specifically answering your creatures is what I want to be doing, which is why I'm kind of transitioning away from the reactive counter spells and more towards the like interactive removal spells.
Yeah, I agree. I think you take advantage of the low threat density in these Izzet decks and just kill all their stuff.
So like I think a lot of people would bring in Flusterstorm in this matchup, but for me it actually just has the same problem as all the other counter spells, is that they're not usually targeting a creature. And because of that, like, it's just going to get stuck in your hand sometimes, and you're just going to lose because of it. So.
Yeah, you don't want too many counter spells, and you already have Archmage's Charm, which is a nice one because it's multifaceted.
Yep, it's so versatile. It can steal a creature. Sometimes just drawing cards to hit land drops is important.
Yeah, but you still want to have some counter spells in your deck so that when you pull ahead, you have those counter spells to solidify your position.
Right, but you just don't want to overload on them against the 1-drop decks.
Yeah. If you do overload, then you end up falling behind, and then they get onto the battlefield, and then you have all these counter spells that don't do anything. Some heady sideboarding here from Todd. Yep. Hasn't lost a step.
Oh, I'm the best.
Around. No one's ever going to bring you down.
I haven't played in a lot of tournaments, obviously, in the last year and a half, but if I have not been studying the game more than I've done in a long time.
Okay, I am on the play here. We are 1-1, just to make that clear. And I have a reasonable hand. I will keep.
I'm going to keep. I don't want to talk about it.
I'll bobble myself.
Sure.
That
means he doesn't have DRC. He might have Ragavan, but no DRC.
Yeah, I don't think this card is what I want to be drawing with this hand. So let's play Scalding Tarn and crack it. I'm going to go to 17.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn.
All right. No 1-drop from Ross is like no Goblin Guide from a burn deck. Just like super duper good for me. Very happy about it. We're going to play a Rogran Triumph on 1 and say go.
End step, I will Thought Scour myself.
Yep.
Mill and DRC Flusterstorm, so Delirium online.
Yeah, not much I can do about it. But no threat in play yet, which is nice.
But I did find one in this Ragavan that I will be dashing. Attack you.
18.
Get a treasure. You're at 18. I'm at 17. And end step Ragavan comes back.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to rest in peace.
Yep.
Trigger. Your turn. Recipe shuts down a lot of his threat suite, which is pretty sick.
I will play Ragavan.
Sure.
Pass the turn.
I will attempt to play Time Raveler.
I will counterspell that.
It's fine.
Exile.
Yep. Gardenan?
4.
Alright, I'm gonna solitude this, pitching a rest in peace.
That's pretty good.
Alright, you gain 2, you're at 19, I'm at 18?
Yeah, 1918.
Here you
go. Expressive iteration.
Yep. It's a heat tor.
Indeed it is. Well, that's awkward.
I just exile 2.
You got 3 in hand?
Mm-hmm.
Play the Flooded Strand and pass the turn.
Alright, no threat. That's
Yeah, did not find a threat off that
what we
iteration.
call a ghouler. Here you go.
Got another iteration though. See if this one can cough up the goods. It cannot.
That's 3 lands. Well, one goes to play, and one goes to hand, and one goes to bottom. You still got rid of that land glut, so that's nice.
I'll play this tapped and pass the turn.
Untap, draw. Your turn. Now we can start using Castle Vantress. It doesn't put actual pressure on Ross. I'm going to fetch in response.
Yeah.
Just to,
I'm at 18. You're at 17.
that's what I got. I'm just going to get a... excuse me, an island.
You have 3 in hand.
Yes.
Okay. On your end step, I'm going to pop this treasure to Archmage's Charm as a divination.
I'm going to do the same in response.
Yep.
That results.
Go to my turn.
Mm-hmm. Ross has plenty of raw cards, so I don't think it's worth for me to like counter his Archmage's
Yes.
Charm. Rest in peace and validate so much stuff that 2 random off mine is more important than his 2 randoms. And I want to do it. I saved it for an extra turn because I was trying to wait for him to tap out, which he did, which was clutch. Okay, now we got to figure out how to bait Ross. Not to be confused with debating Ross, which is an exercise in futility. We're going to play a Flesh Strand, say go.
Okay. On your end step, I'll crack my strand.
Yep. Was that what you got?
17.
Okay, 17 all is what I got.
Yep. Get this last Steam Vents.
Hopefully he just untaps, plays a land, and just plays a 3/3 Murktide Regent, and then we can have a free turn, as the kids say.
Island, Mons Goblin Raiders.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I'm going to... steal it. It's actually super good for me if I do steal it, because I can start churning through my deck for some spells, but it's only going to be a 1/1 because the rest in peace, but he doesn't have any other pressures.
I'm going to Unholy Heat the DRC in response in Seville.
That's fine.
Put land in exile.
Okay. I'm going to go fetch
Todd
down
completes
to
his 2-for-1.
16. Yeah, but Unholy Heat's like a... It's not really a card with rest in peace in play in this matchup.
Yeah.
It can kill like a Teferi that minused or whatever, which is kind of cool. All right.
I think I know how this game is going to go.
How many Archmage Charms and/or counterspells have you gone through that I know about?
There's one of each in my exile zone.
Okay, it's not the best. You have 5 cards.
5 of them.
Yeah, might just be a dig for a Shark Typhoon type of game.
Be a good card. Should try to hardcast it. Chat loves that.
Your turn. You know, I would, but I have a feeling you have a wall counter magic over there. So
I'll play an island at best.
all right, I'm gonna look at the top 2.
I will let that happen.
Okay. This prismatic ending might come in handy later, but I think I can do better. So I'm gonna put it on the bottom.
Okay. And then I'll draw 2.
That's fine.
Okay. You can continue.
Okay. Go.
Bauble.
Sure.
Bauble myself.
Mm-hmm.
Play a canal. Pass the turn.
Make a 5/5 shock.
That's not good.
I go.
Yeah. Draw on your upkeep.
Draw for my turn. Attack for 5.
I'm at 13.
Add you at 17, going to 12.
12. Sure. Probably missed a fetch.
Okay. I played a land. Going to. So the problem is if I play anything on my turn, I'm just kind of initiating a potential counterfight that I don't think I can win, and I can't punish him for interacting. And he didn't kill this, so I think I just say go and do this again. So here we go. Kind of just waiting on Ross to do the first thing so that, you know, when the time comes, I have a mana advantage.
I would like to play a 7-mana 3/3 flyer.
Okay.
Pass
You
the
know,
turn.
that's fine, you know. All right, I'm gonna top 2,
Sure.
or I'm gonna fetch first. 15.
Yep.
Top 2. Put them both on bottom. I'm gonna ice a steam vents.
I will spell pierce that.
Okay.
So still get the land tapped, but you don't draw a card. Really, I'm just trying to get value out of that spell pierce while I can.
Yeah. Charles on 2.
In response, crack fetch.
Yep.
I go to 11. I'll get an island and attempt to counterspell.
That's fine.
That is kind of forced.
I'll play a Teferi 5.
Oh, I lied.
Oh, you don't have a land? I
Nope.
actually thought you might not, but you were
thought I
so
had-
confident about it that I was not sure.
I honestly thought I had a 5th island, but I literally do not.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It means I'm just dead.
Just dead?
I can't interact at all. Just dead.
So Chalice on 2.
Yeah, I had literal 5 lands left in my deck, and 4 of them are fetches.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So your
GG.
your Teferi was gonna resolve anyway, which is gonna be hard for me to beat.
Yeah.
Like, even if I had a land, I got to counter the Chalice. You just Teferi, and really doesn't even matter what you do.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, actually, if you want to keep playing.
Yeah, let's imagine I have an island. I'll take a fetch out of my deck and we'll turn it into an island. And we'll see how this goes.
Okay, so this is countered?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, I'm just going to take up and draw and then sit back.
Yeah.
And then untap Hallowed Steam Vents. There you go. Now, if he does something like Bounce Shark, he still can't even kill Teferi. He needs like a 3-card combo, basically. And with Teferi just gaining some cards here, I think it's just better. He
Oh.
showed me his hand, which
I'll
he
thought
didn't know.
scour you.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty good. I'll send 2 bolts at Teferi.
Okay.
And you have 2 in hand.
Yep.
I'll pass the turn.
All right, 11 to 15.
Yep.
Now that my Teferi's dead, I can just attack. So,
I'll go 6.
go.
Murktide.
Sure.
Actually, that can't be right.
I'm at 15, I believe.
Yeah, 15 to 6. Attack you for 3.
12.
Pass the turn.
That's weird. Okay. Fact or fiction.
Counterspell.
Sign. Gals of Ventress.
Sure. Before you untap, I'll steal your shark.
That's pretty good. Just to be clear, I've won this game.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure I've won this game.
Yes.
Okay.
We're just seeing what would have happened if I had an extra
This is
island
like
in my
Marvel's
deck.
What If, but it's what if Ross wasn't done
Well, I mean,
or
I-
bad or deck was not.
yeah. What if my deck?
What
was
if his deck was built differently?
What if my deck was constructed slightly
to be honest,
differently
that's better than
in a
most
way
of the
that massively
premises for
benefits me in this one
Marvel
scenario?
Wars. I'm gonna fetch an island.
Brings
from
you to 11.
to 6.
Yep.
I'll say go.
Expressive iteration.
Okay.
Thoughts scour you. Attack you for 8.
Make it for 6.
Yep.
So, sorry.
You're good.
So if I block, it's 8. I'm at 11. If I block Bolt, still Unholy Heat's not. Unholy Heat there's bad. All right, this will block here.
Okay, take 5. Go to 6.
Yep.
And bolt the 6/6.
Okay.
Pass the turn. Well, glad that worked.
Yeah, well,
Need to make a 7/7 if you didn't have a counterspell.
I had something else.
Okay.
I probably messed up. It's fine. I already won.
End step, I'll play an Ambush Viper that represents lethal damage.
Okay.
Also, Chad would like me to point out to you, Ross, that you would have avoided the fetching an incorrect line if you just taken the Spire Bluff Canal over Steam Vents off an expressive iteration.
Ah. Good point, chat.
Yeah.
Good point. Declare tax.
Ice.
Ice, ice, baby.
I was going to ice your blocker post combat.
Ah. I will attack for 2.
Yeah, I'm at 4.
4. Pass the turn.
You have Regent and 1 other.
Regent unknown.
I'll Ventress EOT.
Yep.
Top 1, bottom.
3 counterspell, 3 charm in the exile.
Okay. Play Teferi.
That resolves.
Okay, we'll bounce the shark. I'll draw. Play another Teferi.
Yep.
Alright, I'll bounce this. Go.
Murky Murk
Yep.
and the Regent bunch. And you're at 4. Do I want to slam another creature into a verdict? You've literally not seen one. Pass the turn.
Okay. Untap, draw. Pick up. Play another one. Bounce. Go.
Thought Scour you. Ooh, that was a good 2. Murky Murk.
Okay. Oh, wait, you only want 2 up?
Yep.
I'll dispute it. I thought you had 3 up.
Okay. Snap.
Sure.
Pass.
Banters.
Maybe I'll win this game by decking.
Yeah. I need to... Do I have my colonnade still?
Granted, I only have 15 cards in my library,
Oh, maybe I should stop drawing.
and you have 18.
Okay. I'm at 6, you're at 4.
Yep. No,
Or
I'm
vice-
at 6.
Vice
you're at
versa.
4. Yeah.
Vice versa. All right. I will exile this duder. Here you go. I'm going to kill Ross the old-fashioned way. Just hardcore decking him with Drago control.
Murktide.
Sure.
Sure.
What do you want, man? I sided out all my counter spells.
Okay. I wanted you to tap out so I could dash this Ragavan.
Zap it.
Okay. Saves me the trouble of trying to figure out what to attack.
Yeah. All right. Tick up. And a verdict. Here you go.
Murktide Regent.
Okay.
Draw 2 cards.
Okay.
Bauble.
Okay.
Bauble, or pass the turn.
Okay. 2 lands on bottom.
Then I'll bauble you.
Okay. Is it good?
It's not bad. Draw an upkeep.
Thanks for telling me. You know, I ask every time just because sometimes people tell me when I'm about to draw it and like I have a fetch land in play.
Sure.
Just a little gamesmanship. Okay, go.
Dash Ragavan.
Okay,
Declare tax.
Burgess. Nice that.
Pass the turn.
Scraw 2. It's a good one. Chalice on 1.
That's not good.
Oh, I've been using black dice the whole time. Now you're going to do it?
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Go. All right. Go.
Has something for this. Murktide. I'll play Expressive Iteration.
Sure.
Play this Spirebluff Canal. I probably should have played 14 turns ago. Try to attack you.
Yeah, I'm going to make a big old shark. That counts as 2 wins.
That counts as 2.
That counts as double.
Yeah. No, so far the control deck just looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
It's just all your tools are great.
They just come in clutch in so many different spots. Like Fire Ice has been so unbelievable. Like, every time I draw, it's like, okay, well, I can check the 1-drops, or I can tap a land in a weird spot so I can win a counter war, or I can stall your Murktide Regent for a turn so I can Supreme Verdict.
And so because it's so versatile, every time you draw it, you just have to, it's just a matter of figuring out how it fits with the rest of your hand.
Right.
And no matter what that hand is, you can find a way to get good value out of it and make it fit. So yeah, really good stuff so far. 2-0 for the control deck. Todd's going to be taking the marbles for today. He's going to be back Thursday, though. He's got to win them then. That's when it really counts. But we got one more match for y'all. What time do we have? We got a little time for questions if you got them, Rob.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't we take our break now? Y'all in the chat can think of some questions. We might be able to take some before we start the last match. But Jeskai Control are going to be going for King of the Hill, and we'll see if the the big test of this Jund Urza Saga mid-range deck can really take it down. That seems, on paper, looks like a real tough matchup for Control.
It's going to be hard. The recursive nature of Saga plus Ren and 6 just allows for a lot of pressure and card advantage, and those are two elements that often give mid-range decks a leg up on Control, or at least like that's the type of game plan you want to be fighting. Urza Saga is just a really powerful card, so I'm scared of it.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
So 5-minute break here. We will get that last match set up for all of you, and we'll see if Todd can get a sweep here on his first day of the week here, guesting on Versus Live. So don't go anywhere. Hello and welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
I'm Todd Anderson.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. It is King of the Hill Day. We have come to the top of the hill.
Damn it, Bubba.
And so far, it's been the Jeskai Control deck that really looks great, winning the first two matches, taking down Teamer Crashgade and Is It Midrange. But now the biggest test, we were talking before the break, this Jund deck is designed to play long grinding games. It's very good in the Ragavan Mirrors, but it's also quite good against Control. Urza Saga is a really tough card for Control decks to answer because you can't counter it. It makes two creatures, so you kind of need a sweeper. And then it gets something else good. I can get a Pithing Needle to stop some of your Planeswalkers, which is really nice. I can get just a Mishra's Bauble to start getting that going with Luris and generate additional card advantage. So just a really, really good card against Control decks, so difficult to interact with. You do have some Spreading Seas. Those can help quite a bit, and that's one of the reasons those are in the deck.
Yep.
And then other than that, it's typical Control against mid-range. I'll try to do as best I can to sort of either strip you of your answers or strip you of your card advantage, depending upon what kind of game I'm playing. The more aggressive I am, the more I'll just take your answers and let you spin your wheels.
Yeah.
And hopefully kill you before you get off the ground. But with this deck's late game, I think it's going to be more about just playing toe-to-toe with you.
Oh, for sure. You're obviously the aggressor in the matchup. You have a bunch of creatures. My goal is going to be to try to contain all of them, while simultaneously keeping an eye on Urza Saga. I think Urza Saga specifically being able to get like Pithing Needle in a weird spot to turn off a fetch land, or just getting like Nihil Spellbomb to cycle and draw a card and keep the gas flowing while the land itself makes two constructs. That's going to be the biggest thing that I have to overcome. Without something instant speed to deal with the tokens like Dress Down, just one Engineer Explosion in the sideboard, this might be kind of a tougher matchup for me. And I am prepared to lose because I've already won the marbles, but I'm going to try for the sweep and see how it goes. But before we start, let's take some questions from chat. Y'all got anything for us?
Not really.
Okay. Well,
right.
you
Corey
can
in
be...
the chat advocating for Grixis Death Shadow earlier.
Okay, well, we already had 4 decks, Corey. So it's not like we can just add a whole deck. You know the process. You literally work here.
Yeah, we did a whole...
somebody asked him
We did a whole
about
Grixis Shadow Day
but
last week, so he got his fix.
Okay. All right. Well,
I will be on the play, and I will be keeping my hand.
Well, I had a good one, except it only has 1 land. It even has the 1 main deck Rest in Peace, which is like pretty sick against your deck.
Rest in Peace is a way to stop the loops where there's a Saga and Ren and 6. So
Yeah. This shuts down DRC and Tarmogoyf as well, which is nice.
yeah, that's a lot of things.
All right, chat. I'm begging you, at Star City Games in the chat, a question or Dig It Ross. That's all I want right now. Just before we start the game, I just want one funny thing. That's all I want.
All right, I just want to say, Corey said he didn't even say that, but somebody literally asked you what your favorite deck, or what your pick or your favorite deck is, and you said Death Shadow, Corey, so I don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Corey getting burned even when he's not on Versus Live.
As it should be. We'll keep... Okay, go.
Well, I will lead on Mountain Ragavan.
Bane of my existence. Go.
I will attack you.
18. You get a treasure and a Supreme Verdict. Congratulations.
I'm not gonna cast that one.
Congratulations.
play DRC.
Yep.
I will play Foothills and crack it. Let's go to 17. Do I have an overgrown tomb?
Yeah, you
I
should
would
have at least
assume
one of all the lands.
We're going to sack this treasure for red. Going to play a Wrenn and 6. Going to surveil with my DRC.
That is dirty. That's a dirty start, sir.
And get a little acceleration for my 1-drop. Surveil. Yeah, Bauble can just go in the graveyard.
Yep, and you plus get your Lando.
Yep.
All right.
Pass the turn.
Well, I'm gonna do something that feels pretty good here. I'm gonna play Fire. It's not quite dealing with everything. The Wrenn and 6 is still looming, but that's a damn good start.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So you're at
All right,
17?
17 all. Here we go.
That can be cute. Plus is no target. Play an Urza Saga.
Mm-hmm.
And play a Tarmogoyf.
Yep.
Pass the turn. So you got land, instant, artifact, creature. Looks like a 4/5 Goyf to me.
Maybe this ain't gonna be so hard. Spreading Seizure Saga. That's pretty good. And then I'll play this since I go.
Now we got a 5/6 Goyf.
Yeah, I mean it's temporary. It's a temporary fix. So the Wrenn and 6 is still annoying, but it
get
helps
in
me
for
dig for
5.
an answer to the Wrenn also.
You go to 12. Plus on Urza Saga and play it.
Yeah.
He's
Fetching to 11 right now.
Yeah. So we got 11 to 17. Goyf is still a 5/6 because of Spreading Seas. Yeah, land, instant, enchantment, artifact, creature.
Any plays?
Nope.
Not even gonna put Lurrus in your hand?
Oh, yeah, I guess I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, might as well. Not doing anything else.
Smat.
And I've got the Bauble in the graveyard, so.
Go.
Draw. And chapter 2. I will play Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. I'm going to go to 14 and get Blood Crypt.
In response? Nothing. Never mind. Change my mind.
Let's plus Wrenn on this Wooded Foothills, I guess.
Okay.
Declare tax.
Yep.
5.
6.
Brings you to 6. And then post combat, I will Thoughtseize you.
Okay. Bounce draw. Just got to reset it. The ultimate on it was like any spell just colds me. My plan was to bounce EOT so I could like, I don't know, steal a Saga token and chump block and then counterspell the Wrenn, and then I was going to verdict the turn after, but discard blew me up.
So I think I just want to take Supreme Verdict since
I
it's your
agree.
only answer to Tarmogoyf. It also adds a sorcery. I guess I was getting Thoughtseize anyway. So now we got a 6/7 Goyf, which
I've
so
got 12,
Goyf is literally lethal.
and then you just play Wrenn and tick up and tick it. Or something else.
Can also just make a construct.
Maybe I should just... No, I had to bounce the Wrenn. The ultimate was just too good, I think. Maybe not.
Yeah, I'll just pass the turn.
Oh, yeah, he gets to make the construct. So 6/7 now?
Yeah. We're just missing Tribal and Planeswalker.
Go.
Okay, instead, make construct.
Yep.
You didn't give us any constructs, Rob.
Oh, no. Ripperoni. Sorry.
So it looks like a construct. Draw. Yeah, trigger on the stack, make another construct.
Okay.
Search.
Yeah, that's fine, I think.
Really wish I just had the Pirate Spell Bomb, but this list sideboards it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get Pithing Needle and name Teferi Time Raveler.
Okie dokie.
Then I will play a Wooded Foothills. And I will declare an attack.
I'm gonna steal the token that can attack.
That will happen. Then attack with Goyf before blocks. Unholy Heat the construct that you have.
Try to counterspell it.
Fetch and bolt the
Yeah,
construct.
that's fine.
Yeah. If I didn't have the removal, I wouldn't have made a construct at all, just to not give Todd a target for the charm. But knowing that I had him beat if he just taps out for charm and counterspell, man, I might as well just go for it and have him do that rather than potentially Archmage's charm into some way to answer Goyf. Or if I like tap out for the Ren and 6 thinking I'm not going to make a construct, maybe Todd main phases the Archmage's charm, finds prismatic ending for Goyf, and somehow finds a way to win from there.
Yeah, I actually drew Verdict, but I needed to be able to clean up the construct too. So
Yeah.
because I couldn't if I just cast Verdict, you just make construct EOT, and I have to beat 2 constructs, which I think is
Yeah. And you would have been dead to
Very
my
hard.
bolt that way. So, yeah, my play is also much better against a top deck Verdict.
I was also pretty light against a Ren and 6 minusing, just dealing some ping damage. So
But, yeah, so far, this deck doing exactly as prescribed against control. You even had a really strong fire to deal with the DRC and Ragavan on turn 2.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was not enough to get you back in the game. Tarmogoyf getting real big. Tarmogoyf gets big these days.
yeah, it is.
It's like not that hard to have Goyf be outside of Unholy Heat.
It's also like randomly really good with Urza Saga because it's one of those lands that normally you can't do that much with a colorless mana, but like if you add in Tarmogoyf to the mix, that colorless mana becomes a big deal. And like on top of that, I've been playing Collective Brutality in my version and like really enjoying it. So
How is your hand?
it's fine. I'm keeping.
I will also keep. I like the idea of Brutality.
You're
Good
good.
cyber card against Burn.
Yeah, I had a couple main deck over the Thoughtseizes. I
I
liked a little extra removal.
would like to Thoughtseize you.
Okay, there's a Seize, 2 Typhoon, a Teferi, and a Verdict.
Um,
I'm gonna go to 19. You're at 18.
I am going to take your Spreading Seas. I do not want to get spread.
All right, I go.
Yeah, I'm at 18. Todd's hand is also pretty mana intensive, so I like taking the cantrip away from him. He wants to just cycle a Shark Typhoon for 0. More power to him.
Don't think I'm gonna, but I might.
Okay, I will take 2, go to 16, and play a Tarmogoyf that is a 3/4.
Okay, I'm at 18. I'm gonna get a Hallowed Fountain. So 18, 16.
Yep. It's your classic land enchantment sorcery 3/4 Goyf.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
On the land.
Bounce drop. Here we go.
Okay. Have this set up. So now I'm going to play Urza Saga. I'm going to play Ren and 6. I'm going to shoot down this Teferi.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn. Awkwardly did not draw a fetch land with my Ren, but
Wow, that was a good draw.
I don't like that.
Ending this. And Chalice for 1. Here you go.
Okay.
Goes to Chalice for 2. Keeps him off of Ren and Goyf, but doesn't really do much else. And his deck is primarily 1-drops.
I know 2 Shark Typhoons in your hand.
And a Verdict.
And a Verdict. Well then, I think I'm just supposed to make constructs here. Yeah, I'm going to be so light on resources because of this chalice.
I kind of want to hit land drops over the next few turns, and I don't have anything reactive to do. I think cycling the Shark Typhoon now, just to give me a 2/2. I'm going to do it to like try to block the construct anyway, probably. Or at least like force him to have extra juice. And I'll say go.
Okay, end step, make a construct.
Yep.
Upkeep, or draw.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, trigger on the stack, make a construct.
Mm-hmm.
Then, what am I going to find? Thinking...
Spellbomb cycles, bobble cycles.
I'm thinking either Pithing Needle,
Yeah,
because this is the only way I can get it, and name... I'm not sure yet, though. Or I can get Expedition Map and set up to find another Saga, which I kind of like. But it'll be a while because I have a land drop to make. I also really want to keep these constructs as 3/3s so that they're out of range of this shark. So I actually think I'm talking myself out of map because I want something that just stays on the battlefield. So I'm going to get Pithing Needle, and I'm going to name Teferi Time Raveler.
Okay.
And I will attack for 3.
All right. 15.
15. Play a fetch, and I know you have a verdict, so I don't want to play this Goyf. Pass the turn. I'm going to crack this fetch now. 15 all. So I know Verdict Typhoon.
Yeah. All right. I'll say go.
Says go.
I don't know.
That was a good draw. I will attack for 6. Wonder if we'll see like a Cryptic Command bounce the needle or Archmage's Charm take it or something.
Cycle for 3.
Yeah, are we tradesying?
I think I'm going to try it. So if I block like this, and then he bolts this, then this loses. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I'll trade then.
Yeah, trade. The trade's pretty safe.
Sorry.
Let's say main deck terminates. But I did draw another Urza Saga, which is pretty neat.
It is pretty neat.
And then I will play a Tarmogoyf, and I will buy this Luris to my hand.
Okay.
And pass the turn. And we've got land enchantment sorcery. Of course, you drew the other Planeswalker. We have Planeswalker. Wow. Our graveyards are land, enchantment, sorcery, Planeswalker.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. All right. Play Teferi, draw a card. No land drop. Untap.
So Goyf is a 4/5. Awkward. Draw. Chapter 2. I would like to attack Teferi.
I'm going to ice it and draw.
Oh. That's what you're going to do. Be a jerk.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down a game, okay? I got to do something.
So do I give Todd the 2-for-1 here? With the verdict, you got 5 in hand?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Draw.
Yep.
I'll just say go.
And step, make a construct.
Sure.
Go to my turn. Draw.
Mm-hmm.
Make a construct with the trigger on the stack.
Mm-hmm.
Resolve the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to find a Mishra's Bauble this time so that my Luris that you know about is very good. And we have instant now, so these are 5/6s. We have land, instant, sorcery, enchantment,
It doesn't matter.
planeswalker. Yeah, I'd like to go to an attack.
All right, untap everything and draw a card.
Sure.
Okay.
I will play another Urza Saga.
Okay.
And no point in playing anything. I guess I'll bobble you.
Sure.
Yep.
I go.
Yep. Draw and upkeep.
Yep. Draw for turn. Draw off the fairy. Display verdicts. 2 white off the gate. It's 3 mana versus 2 mana matter. Does 4 mana matter? Okay, I'll play Rest in Peace. Trigger.
Okay.
Play a Scalding Tarn and turn untap these 2. Here we go.
Yeah.
Don't like that one? Or
Draw. Chapter 2.
yeah.
I will play a land, play a Luris,
I'll counterspell it.
and pass the turn.
All right, I'll go. I think I'm at 14, right?
Yeah. This game hasn't gone nearly as well.
Yeah. I mean, I've grinded through some sagas too. That's Saga 3.
Yeah.
I got a red source because he has a Ghost Quarter in play, and I didn't want to get Ghost Quarter off a red in a pinch. So I already have plenty of white. Plenty-ish, anyway. Draw. Draw on that.
Yep.
Play a Fact or Fiction.
Sure.
Is that good, or is that okay?
And I'm dead. My hand is 4 1-drops and a 2-mana 0/1.
Okay, all right. All my main deck sideboard cards coming in pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good there.
Just no one can beat a Rest in Peace.
I mean, if the shoe fits. Everyone always mad about the how Surgical Extraction used to be main deck or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I mean, have you just tried playing main deck Rest in Peace? It's pretty good in a lot of matchups. A lot of decks use the graveyard.
Yeah. So we are 1-1. Again, I've won the first game of every match. And then it's just gone down. I don't think I've won a game since then in any
Well,
match.
that's because you're on the play and you play Eternal and Ragavan and you hit me with it.
Okay, I'm going to try to do that in game 3. But first, we're going to take a short break, get some
Alright.
sideboard set up, and finish out this match. See if the Jeskai control deck can complete the clean sweep and be the true king of the hill. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Jund Midrange and Jeskai Control. A trend on my side, not a lot of sideboarding. I feel like decks just aren't prepared against Control right now, and Control looks good, so I don't know why. I keep seeing it pop up more and more, so I assume the respect will eventually come around. But I'm going to be cutting the Shadow Spear and the Nile Spellbomb. You know, Shadow Spear is meant to get your constructs and Tarmogoyfs through small blockers. Control deck doesn't really present those, so it doesn't do a whole lot. Nile Spellbomb, I'm cutting for Pyrite Spellbomb solely because Nile needs to go to the graveyard to cantrip, so against Rest in Peace, it doesn't do anything, whereas Pyrite Spellbomb can still cycle. That's how sort of desperate my sideboarding is.
Yikes.
And then the one Engineer Explosives is a way that can actually answer a Rest in Peace, which is nice. I wish I had like Colligan's command to answer Chalice the Void, but
I'm bringing Grudge.
oh yeah, I have a Grudge. Yeah, I need to bring in Grudge for Chalice.
Yeah, Run of Fall also deals with shark tokens if that's something you're interested in.
No, I have Unholy Heats in my deck to do that, and Bolts.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but let's bring in the Ancient Grudge.
My
That makes
side,
sense.
we're in another matchup where since I'm the control deck in this scenario, my counter spells are actually quite bad against the 8 1-drops and a million discard spells from the Jund deck. So I'm going to be cutting counter spell, especially on the draw. We're going to be training one of our 4 Shark Typhoons. Most of the lists I play of this style of deck only play 2 or 3 Shark Typhoon, kind of trending downward. This version does play 4. It's a little more resilient. Has a few more win conditions, so you don't just like deck yourself on accident sometimes. Shark Typhoon is just cycles a lot of times too. I think I just need to be more aggressive about cycling it on 2 when I need to. We're going to be bringing in a lot more interactions, similarly to what we did against the Izzet deck. We're going to be bringing in some more sweepers like Supreme Verdict. Spreading Seas is quite good in this matchup because of the Urza Sagas. We'll bring in a 3rd. Rest in Peace, obviously Nuts. We're bringing in a 2nd. Engineer Explosives helps me deal with the construct tokens pretty easily. And then a Solitude because Tarmogoyf's kind of big, hits hard, and this is a cheap way to interact with an early Ragavan in case I don't have a Prismatic Ending. So.
Yeah.
I'm considering Crumble to Dust, but I think it's just slightly too slow, especially on the draw. It's a way to like help win the long game against the Urza Sagas, but
You already have Rest in Peace for that.
yeah, I kind of want to do it just for the funsies, though. You know, you ever just want to do stuff that's fun?
Nope,
Just
never.
why not
Yeah.
tilt Ross off even more as you sleep him in the day?
Yeah, just like Ross. How do you like your sagas? Crumbled or scrambled?
I actually like
Are
them.
there any
fried.
Uh,
questions?
Yeah.
Ross or
Yeah.
Rob. Sorry,
That's a few come in.
hit me.
So if you were playing a tournament this weekend, what is your current pick to play?
Ooh, that's tough. I really like Izzet. I think the blue-red deck that just plays a bunch of Murktides and stuff, it's a little vulnerable to Rest in Peace, which we saw last match. There's not a ton of the control deck running around, and I think that if you won the die roll, you're like favored in the matchup. And I would probably just play blue-red. I think it hits all the bases, and it's just like the most inherently powerful. It's also like idiot-proof. Like it's one of those decks that's just all the cards are just nuts.
Yeah. I like the 4C creativity deck.
Sure, sounds great.
Yeah, won the challenge last weekend. Like Ren and 6 is great. Teferi is great.
Is that the one with Primeval Titans in it, or is the other one?
No, there was a list with Primeval Titan.
Yeah, I saw Michael
and
Majors
Valakut.
was working on that one. That one looked cool.
I'm interested in it, but I haven't played that version. I would just be playing one Emrakul, no Velomachus, no Time Warps or anything like that, and then Nahiri and Prismari Command to pitch the Emrakul if you draw it. But I just think combo control is such a great archetype. You get to sit there and interact a ton early. You don't need to find your combo super quickly. You can find it at your leisure. But there are matchups where like your opponent's putting you under a lot of pressure, and you're turn 4 Emrakul them.
Yeah. All right, one more.
Yeah. My opener has no lands, so I will be sending it
Mine's
back.
great. I was just going to take a question even if you were ready.
Show the audience your hand.
Oh, sorry. They'll see it. All right, here's my hand. We are in desperate need of some creature interaction in the first couple turns, but other than that, our hand is rolled up, as they say.
Rolled up like Thai ice cream.
So as far as
Yeah.
another question, we did have a question. Somebody asked about Grixis Lurrus, which I assume they're meaning the Death Shadow deck, versus like this Jund deck. Which like version do you, or which deck do you think is better? Or do you think
there
they're
are Grixis
comparable?
lists that don't play Shadow.
Those are heinously bad against that deck, I think. I think they're just kind of weak against Saga in general. And
Yeah.
that one with the recurring nature of Saga, and they don't have a ton of answers to Ren and 6. It's basically just Unholy Heat. I think if the Death Shadow versions can put a little more pressure on the Ren and 6. with
They can
Shadow
also use
itself.
Dive Down to clear away constructs.
Yes. That's not Dive Down, though. It's,
Or Dress Down.
Dress Down.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't use Dive Down to clear away constructs. You can use those to protect constructs.
It all depends on the slant of the Lurrus deck. If it's more control leaning, you're going to get dumpstered by this Jund deck. But if it's more aggressive leaning with Shadow, I think you're a little bit better.
In general, though, I would take the Ren Saga lists in any Ragavan mirror. So I think this is just the ultimate mid-range trump.
Yes, I agree with that.
For when you want to, make sure those matchups are as good as possible. This is the version that you play, but you do sacrifice in some other matchups.
All right, how's your 6?
Very keepable,
All right, put one back. Let's
if
get to
slightly
it.
awkward.
Do you miss Paris Mulligan?
Not really.
What was the other one? Vancouver?
Yeah.
I miss Vancouver. The Scry one was lit.
Okay, I will lead on an Overgrown Tomb tapped and a Mishra's Bauble, and on your upkeep, I'll bauble you. That's not good.
Ooh. Here you go.
Draw, and draw again.
Is it a Dragavon? Did you just draw like 6 red cards in a row?
No, just look at my hand and the fact that I bobbled and saw a rest in peace. It's just literally 2 lands and 4 cards that got shut down by rest in peace. But it's 4 different cards.
Come on. You got this. You got this, Justin.
I'm gonna get my value here with my Ren.
Okay.
Jesus.
Look, Ren 6 is tough, man. I don't know what to tell
I'm
you.
gonna get a Blood Crypt and return it, so I'm at 17.
All right. Don't give up yet. There's still hope, Obi-Wan. I'm gonna kill this. I drew it. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I'm happier you did that. Now I can draw a discard spell and not die to this rest in peace.
That's true. That's true. Maybe I should have just went ahead and play the Rest in Peace. Yeah, no, that's stupid because the Ren doesn't do anything with Rest in Peace in play.
Yeah, that's
I'm a big goofball.
even the ultimate.
I'm a big goof Dorcas. Leave me
Okay.
alone. Rest in peace. Engage.
Now that's a nice one. That is one that could potentially win the game.
Okay.
Dash Ragavan. Get in.
Ooh.
You're at 18. I will go to 15,
Uh-oh.
and I will ice your rest in peace.
I'm sorry, you missed your treasure token? Missed your treasure token? Does this go to my graveyard?
Oh, well, not anymore.
Oh, right. Duh.
It would.
Duh.
And then we'll plus Ren.
Yeah, yeah.
Ragavan comes back. You're up.
Okay. I'm gonna fetch a plane. No, I'm gonna. I'm at 18. I'll go to 15. I'm just gonna get a
Okay, 15 all.
Howled Fountain. I'm gonna tick up.
Yeah, ticking down doesn't seem great when you know I have the Ragavan.
Yep, here we go. Plus, you could just have like Unholy Heat or Bolt or something. So, like if you want to Dosh Ragavan into Bolt the Teferi, that's like a exchange I'm more than willing to make. You know?
Yeah. Instead, I'll be dashing and attacking you.
Yep, I'm gonna go to 13.
13. Give me a treasure. Give me a card. Shark Typhoon.
I don't think you
which
can
I cannot
cycle
cycle.
it.
Yeah.
So
you have to-
It's just gonna go over here.
Play a Blackleaf Cliffs. I do have a Pithing Needle for this Teferi, though.
Yuck.
The name of that one.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus Ren, and Step Ragavan comes back and pass the turn. Actually, I'm gonna DRC and then Needle, so I surveil.
Okay.
Keep that.
All right. Draw.
Get me.
All right. Pretty sure this is game over. Ending the needle. Chalice for 1. Let me bounce this. Try 'em. Here you go.
Okay.
Twas a good sequence.
I knew that was there.
Because you left it there?
Yeah.
And now it's horrible?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct on all counts.
Minus Ren, deal 1 to the fairy. Go. Play a 0-1 Tarmogoyf. Go. Put alerts in my hand. Go. Man, Chalice of the Void, that's a fun and fair card, man. I love it.
Yep. Buy Luris plus Ren. Pass the turn.
Okay. Now, the good news is you can make it an emblem. So if you are able to get this here Rest in Peace off the battlefield, I'm in some trouble. So take up the fairy.
That is my only hope.
Huh. I guess it is your only hope. I'm going to bounce this and draw a card. I mean, I worked it out in my head.
Instead crack fetch, I'll go to 14.
Yeah, I have 14 to 13.
Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and go to 12.
So I probably have a stomping ground left over here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Oh, I was drawing a good card.
Ripperoni.
There's an Urza Saga.
Mm.
Probably the best card to draw right now.
Yeah, I agree.
You still have like 4 cards in hand?
Yeah, everything I've played says draw a card on it except for these two.
Yeah, which say none of your cards work.
Yeah, it says draw 6 cards.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just 4.
Yeah, you have 4 cards in hand. I have like 7, but none of them do anything.
Loris is a castable Magic the Gathering card. Okay.
And that's what I'll be doing.
All right.
I'll also cast this Ren and 6.
All right. You get minus or plus?
I'm going to minus and make sure you can't bounce this Luris.
I think that's smart.
And then I'll pass the turn.
Yeah, you got a shot. See?
I do have a shot. A chip and a chair, as they say.
You know what? I just got to say, every time I've cast this card, it's felt kind of unbelievable.
Fetch brings you to 12.
11.
11, even better.
Yep.
And this has always just been the card that, I see the top 5 cards of your deck, and I'm like, okay, now I have no shot.
Right. Which is weird, because if it was Jace the Mind Sculptor, I'd be like, oh, he has a shot still, because he could just kill the Jace. All right, this is not the best FOF, but I did get a clump of lands off the top of my deck.
And you have not played a land yet?
I have played a land.
You have played a
played
land.
a fetch land.
Those are my piles.
So I'll take this. And
Not particularly interesting split there.
no. Go ahead and get this off. I can deal with a 3/2 creature. Planeswalker is a little harder. Losing my Teferi is not a huge deal. It's the Rest in Peace and the Chalice that are the big
Attack
players,
Teferi.
the major players right now.
I'll go to 17.
Yeah, I have 11, 17.
Yep. I've got 7. Pass the turn.
All right. Plus, I have this backup Teferi that's just been chilling in my hand for like 5 turns. So. Bounce. I'm gonna Spreading Seas both your green sources. Here you go.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool of you to do. To me. I will play Alaris.
Yeah.
Dash Ragavan.
Counter. I saw it. Sorry.
You're up.
Okay.
7 cards in hand.
Yeah. Okay. Dig up. I drew a hero. I think I'm gonna minus on this. This leaves it vulnerable if he has a combo of cards, or I guess some weird thing I'm not thinking of that costs 2.
Okay. My hand is 5 1-drop, 6 1-drops, and 2 Goyfs.
Okay, we'll just call it a day. How about that?
Well, we got time for another.
Okay, well,
That's why I'm calling it right now.
so we can play a 4th game for no reason?
Yeah. And I
Yes,
can
sir.
win it very quickly, and then we can play a 5th game for some reason.
Yeah. How about we play for 1 marble? I will bless this game to play for 1 of my many marbles.
Jesus, I've just been getting crushed. Rest in peace. It's just Rest in Peace and Chalice.
Yeah. Well, we're really seeing the strength of those like kind of weird sideboard cards that have main deck capabilities. Like the Chalice of the Voids, shutting down a lot of those 1-mana cards, and it's like their splash damage. Like DRC is vulnerable to both Chalice of the Void and Rest in Peace because the card itself needs the graveyard, and it also costs 1 and incentivizes you to play a bunch of 1s. So both of them end up being great against that type of deck.
And while I understand not being super prepared for Rest in Peace, not a very common card, Chalice is a pretty common card.
Yep.
People main deck it. A lot of people sideboard it as an answer to the Cascade decks.
Yep.
So the being so light on answers to Chalice is very strange to me. Like I'm missing like a K command in the main. That would be nice.
Yeah.
And maybe it's you already have 1 Grudge and maybe another thing in the sideboard. I guess I can bring it. My Engineer Explosives also does it. So for Chalice and 1.
Mm-hmm.
So an EE, a Grudge, and I would like a K command in the main.
All right. I'll keep mine. Any questions over there before we get started for this game, Rubble? If not, we'll just
Ross
move right
answered
in.
the one I had about how you change the decks that are weak to Chalice and
Yeah.
Rest in Peace.
Yeah. Just got to have a couple more of those like versatile 2 and 3 mana
Yeah.
cards that do something like that.
We're doing the cool thing.
Yeah.
Bang.
All right. I'm at 18.
Yes, you are at 18. And I'm gonna use this. Maybe I guess maybe I screwed up then. I just autopiloted playing the Blackleaf Cliffs when I could have played a fetch land, thinking I'll just play the fetch land next turn. But now I just drew Urza Saga, and I want to play Ren and 6 Urza Saga, but then I don't get value off the Ren. Awkward.
A little. I feel like you're just spoiled for options more than anything, though.
Yeah. I'm not that concerned about getting the land with the Ren. I think I'm just going to make sure I get Saga down. So we'll plus the Ren.
Okay.
Chapter 1 on the Saga. Pass the turn.
Little on Forcho. All right. I'm going to fetch. Oh, sorry, this is exiled. I guess Howled Fountain. I'm at 15.
Yep. Good after that?
Yeah. Sorry, you're going to yell at me if I don't.
Okay, I gave Todd the look. Okay, chapter 2.
Well, Sunburst.
Saga.
Sunburst, black die or white die?
Black is -1/-1 counters and Planeswalker loyalty. White is everything else.
Okay. All right. I'm at 13.
Yep. Get myself another treasure. Flip another land. That's actually a relevant land to know is not there. Got a Mire. That will be getting a Stomping Ground, putting myself to 17. And then I will plus the Ren on the Mire and pass the turn. Ooh. I like how Ragavan treasures pump my sagas. My construct tokens.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we in the business call synergy.
Go.
Instant make a construct.
Mm-hmm.
Go to my turn, drop. Make a construct.
I'm going to fetch with the Saga trigger on so I don't get
Sure. So
Pithy
you're
Needle
12.
to death or something. And
Then resolve the trigger.
I might try to play around Pithy Needle. I'm thinking about using the EE. How much that hurts me if you do needle me. Because you're getting Ren back Saga and you're just going to create this chain. It's going to be hard to...
It's going to be a lot of
Right.
constructs.
Okay.
And yeah, I think I will just Pithing Needle this EE if Todd's going to let me.
Okay.
'Cause I'm playing an aggro game here. I will attempt an attack for 6.
Puts me to
Puts
7.
you to... I do it. You have 12 because you just fetched again.
Yep. Okay.
So you're going to 6.
It's a Chalice of the Void. You want to cast it?
That's not what I want. What would I be casting it for? I could really only cast it for 1 and 0. Neither is good. So yeah, let's leave that exiled. And yeah, nothing else to do. I'll just return Urza Saga and play it.
Yep.
You're up.
Oh, Supreme Verdict. Here you go.
Okay. Draw. Chapter the 2nd. Now we can crack fetch, go to 16. Get the Overgrown Tomb. And I could get this untapped and buy Luris and use all my treasure to do that. Then my constructs are much smaller.
Yeah, that seems loose.
Right now, the one construct is actually threatening lethal with 2 treasures and the needle. I'll make 2 more constructs, get up to 5. Saga will find a 6th artifact. So I think I just don't. I wait on the Lyris a little bit, but I will plus the Wren to get this Meyer back
Yep.
and pass the turn.
All right. What do I want? I know exactly what I want. Perfect. I'm at 5.
Yep,
I'm gonna ending the Wren.
that's annoying.
Here you go.
End step, make a construct.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal it.
Yep. Draw.
Mine's pretty big too.
Make a construct.
Yep.
Let this die. You're at 5.
I'm at 5 and you're at 16.
So what am I finding? I think I'm just finding a map. So I can get another Urza Saga.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this will be the turn that I want to buy the Lyris. It'll only cost me 1 treasure.
You don't want to go get Saga instead?
And just immediately Saga.
I mean, you can. Otherwise, it's going to be a while before you make Construct. It's just option. I'm just, that's what I was expecting you to do. I don't know what I want you to do.
Yeah, that's probably better, actually. Let's do that. Sack the map immediately, get an Urza Saga and play it. I do have 8 cards in my hand. I'll just discard a DRC.
Yep. And this has Summoning Sickness because he made it on his turn. So.
Yes.
Right. Untap.
So I have a Saga and play in Chapter 1.
Yep. All right, my draft turn.
Yep.
I'm going to steal this. I'm going to attack for 4.
I'm at 12.
Okay. On your upkeep, I'm going to ice your Saga.
Jesus.
You may continue.
I'm going to get hoisted by my own petard.
I haven't killed somebody with their own construct tokens yet. These little Engineer Explosive, Chalice of the Void artifacts chilling. Quite nice, gotta say.
Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about my own constructs. I just assumed I was going to draw my engineered explosives, and it's going to look like it's awesome, but I have it needled.
Oh, that's gonna be funny.
I will buy Lyris,
Okay.
and I will discard a Bloodstained Mire.
So you're at 12? I'm at 5?
Yep.
Okay. All right, attack for 8.
I'm at 4.
Oh. Once I go.
Draw. Make a construct.
Mm-hmm.
And get something.
I'm gonna fetch the 4 in response to the search. I don't know how many needles you got, but
Only 1. Okay, I can literally only get Mishra's Bauble, so that makes it easy.
yeah, the
So we have
tutor
4 all.
targets in that deck are very light.
Yeah. Well, I've got Swamp Lyris,
Okay.
and then I will sack the Bauble and replay it.
Okay.
Targeting you with the Bauble. What do you got? Okay, then I'll pass the turn.
Okay. I'm gonna make a 4/4 shark.
I am dead. My hand of 4/1 drops 2 lands.
Chalice the
Oh wait,
Void.
what am I drawing off the Bauble? Oh, another 1
A
drop.
Ragavon? Nice. Impressive. Most impressive.
Yeah, you literally lost game 1 every match and then just won every other game.
Yeah.
So, and especially post sideboard, like, I just didn't feel like I could do anything with any deck.
Well, I mean, Control just has this way of like reducing its curve after sideboard and just getting the right type of interaction. And the shells are like really powerful with the card advantage, like with Time Raveler, not Azor Charm, Archmage's Charm. Like you have a constant flow of cards that can interact and kill things. The games you lose are the ones where you don't have interaction early and you just get put on the back foot immediately by Ragavan. That game was one where I was expecting to lose. When I was like, okay, I guess we have a game 5 now. And instead I was just able to claw my way back and back and back. And it was mostly on the back of 2 Archmage's Charms. Being able to steal those Urza Sagas, that was like a huge deal in that spot. So
Yeah, no, the Verdict into Charm is a really good sequence after you sort of set up the I don't want to call it a wall, but you set up the combo of like Chalice, Rest in Peace, so I can't do anything.
Yeah.
And then you have to deal with what's on the battlefield. If the Prismatic Ending deals with the Ren, you stop that loop. Verdict clears what's on the battlefield, and then I have one more Urza Saga to try to push through, and the Charms answer that. So everything lined up really well.
One thing I want to point out, that deck actually has a little trouble, I think, interacting with the card, specifically Rest in Peace. And it's because normally Jund doesn't have that big of a trouble with Rest in Peace and things like that because they have Abrupt Decay or Assassin's Trophy to take care of them. But when you play lands like Urza Saga and Ghost Quarter, it gets a lot harder to justify playing those 2-color interactive pieces because you need to play Urza Saga on turn 2 in order to start generating those constructs on turn 3.
Yeah, but and then there's also just not many Rest in Pieces around.
Right.
So I think what you saw here was a metagame that isn't really prepared for control. We've seen it pop up in small amounts. I think most everyone, like we discussed earlier, thought that, oh, that's just Wafatapa being a control master and doing well on a weekend, okay. But it's starting to really prove itself as a major player here in Modern, and it's something that you have to be prepared for. And the normal way that you think about sideboarding against a control is to bring in some really powerful threats to punish them for tapping out for that Verdict.
Yeah.
You can't really do that with Luris as your companion.
Right. That's a big deal.
Yeah, you got to find other ways to do it. I think you've got to be prepared to answer these Chalices and Rest in Pieces. If I was able to do that and like had access to my Bolts and Unholy Heats and all these other cards, then yeah, I get to play a lot more Magic. So it's those 2 cards that have been really problematic. I guess I didn't draw a lot of discard spells. That's probably the big thing. Like if I was able to Inquisition Thoughtseize on turn 1 in a lot of those games, they might play out differently. Though I did in one of them. I think I had a turn 1 Thoughtseize, turn 2 Tarmogoyf game, and that might have been the game where you just had Rest in Peace on top of your deck. And but what are you going to do? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much the metagame adapts to control, how well it does, because it's looked good so far when we've played it on Versus. We did a whole gauntlet show when Wafo did really well and top-aided, I think it was the Super Qualifier and the Challenge in one weekend. And Corey was from the control side. We were both very skeptical, and he won the day. The deck looked good, and this is just, I think Fire Ice, that Light Splash is
perfect.
That's a step ahead in the evolution of the deck. I love it. You saw Fire and Ice do so many different things. It was a 2-for-1 once. Yep. It was icing to win counter wars. It was protecting planeswalkers for a turn, like when you Teferi tick up and they have a creature land or they have a haste creature or just something that you hadn't dealt with. And now you just get to ice the creature and then untap with your Teferi and you don't care. You have all this mana and all these cards. So much versatility to that card. And the splash is so easy to make work. You already wanted 1 red source for Prismatic Ending and Engineered Explosives. So yeah, Fire Ice seems like a great addition to the deck, and I will not be surprised if it becomes stock in the next couple weeks.
So I can't really advocate playing another 1-mana removal spell because you are playing Chalice of the Void, and the whole deck's point is to be able to play Chalice without it being really detrimental. But I think you do want maybe 1 max 2 more cheap interactive pieces. The second Solitude in the sideboard might just need to be main deck. I've seen a couple lists play 2 Solitudes. I think 4 Shark Typhoons, like 1 too many. Probably trim, make that a pretty easy swap. Maybe even board the 4th Shark Typhoon against all the other blue decks. But it's kind of a liability sometimes against them because Archmage's Charm stealing the Shark token like we had come up in the Izzet matchup. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think 4 is excessive. So you can always make small changes to the control deck, but right now it just looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
I was very impressed today.
Yeah. All right. Anything from chat before we move on to the last bit?
No, you answered the one question I had, which was about like adding your Abrupt Decay to the deck.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, if Rest in Peace and control decks pick up, look, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need to have Abrupt Decays in your sideboard for this matchup.
But then you can't really. I don't think you can play Decay and Saga in the same deck. I mean,
Sure
you can, but you can't play Decay, Saga, and Ren 6. if you do, you're going to have games where you just like don't function or you're unable to cast 2 spells in one turn, and it's going to make you fall behind, and you're going to lose to random stuff like Planeswalkers.
But it's just a sideboard card for the matchups where you really need it.
Sure. I just for whatever it's worth, when I wrote my article about it after playing with it, the Terminate was horrible. Because I mean, I know what it's for, I know what it's supposed to do, but it's horrible because it costs black and red in your deck that's trying to go, like you want a Black Cleaves on 1 or whatever, but like your second land isn't gonna always be the one that you need it to be, especially if you have to fetch basics at some point, if you draw an Urza Saga at a weird time. If you don't draw Ren and 6, sometimes your fetches are weird and like you just can't get the right color. You can't get all 3 colors of your mana, I don't know. It's tough, but
I agree the mana is tough, but you need the cards that you need to, otherwise,
Well, you could play less flexible cards that don't cost 2 colors. Like you could just like not naturalize, but you could just play naturalize, Some disenchant or whatever. That's all I'm saying. It may be worth considering over Abrupt Decay. Obviously, you can just play Decay. It's probably going to be fine 80% of the time. But then you're going to have draws where you absolutely need it, and it's not going to be able to be cast, and you're going to lose.
Yeah, in just the games that we played, I didn't find an issue with my ability to cast spells, especially with Ren and 6 giving you extra land drops, right?
Well, you did have an inability to cast spells, but it was because of Chalice of the Void.
Yes. Well, I can still cast them.
Yeah,
I just can't resolve.
Yeah.
But I think siding some Abrupt Decays or whatever is exactly what you would need, because right now it was Chalice and Rest of Pieces all day. I just looked at my hand of 7 cards. 2 of them were lands, 4 of them I couldn't cast, and 1 of them was irrelevant.
Yeah, the one main deck recipe today was nice. In a lot of matchups, and
All you need is the one. All you need is the one.
Yeah, I mean the second sideboard's nice though. So
yeah, when it's relevant, then you bring in more. But like playing 1 copy in the main, that number looks weird, and I think a lot of newer players will look at that and be like, that seems like it should either be cut or increased depending on how good Rest in Peace is. But I actually think 1 main is the perfect number. I have a whole article concept in my head about why 1 is the best number in Magic, and people need to play more 1-ofs.
I mean, that's fair. It's
you're
usually
playing
4
Commander
and 1.
when, Ross?
That's too many 1-ofs.
Too many.
Yeah, the 1-ofs are the seasoning. They're just that sprinkle of finishing salt on the top of the dish that makes everything pop.
Yeah, my favorite thing is the sideboards that are all 2s and 1s. So you just have like a lot of versatility in how you sideboard, like your plans are mix and match and custom made and stuff. So,
really just the story of the day. The control deck. When you do this kind of format, you're worried that the King of the End could just be the deck that swoops in match 3, only has to play 1 match. But the control deck literally ran through the entire gauntlet.
Yeah,
this is basically a control gauntlet show. You played control 3 times. I played 3 other top decks, and you just murdered all of them.
Yeah, but that's just because you suck.
Yeah, the burns are supposed to come from the audience.
Oh, you're great. All right, never mind.
Okay, that is going to do it for today. Why don't we thank some subs, and then we can thank some sponsors and head on out of here.
Get my waffles.
Oh, there we go. Okay, now Twitch actually updated for me, so I can thank our subs correctly.
Thank you, Twitch.
Leviathan 0413, Sparrow for 32 months.
Joey, what's up?
Crispy 724 for 12 months. And looks like those are the only 3 for today. But thank you to all of them.
Appreciate
our
y'all.
subs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like we're a company, right? Like we are here for Star City Games. Like it's different subbing to a big thing versus to one person. So I get it, but every little bit helps. The more viewership, the more subs, the more everything we get here, the more Ross and I are happy. We'll put it that way. So thank you so much for your support.
Yes, and if you'd like to support Star City Games in another way, you can join SCG Premium. $7.99 a month will get you access to exclusive content from our wonderful staff of content creators, including both of us, as well as some other perks, which are 5% off of sealed product, 10% off of singles, and 15% off of supplies. So head on over to starcitygames.com/join-premium and sign up today.
All right. Also, you need to check out the Star City Games weekly sale. Now, this goes on every week. It's just a different sale every week. You can check at the same address, starcitygames.com/sale. Today's sale is going to be 15% off non-basic lands, and that's going to be good all the way through next Tuesday because Monday's Labor Day. Normally ends on Monday, but we're going to go all the way through next Tuesday.
Yeah, office won't be open on Labor Day for the holiday, so you got an extra day to get the discount on some sweet non-basic lands. And if you're looking to pick up some extra cash to take advantage of that sale, maybe you got some cards you want to get rid of, do keep in mind that Star City Games is always buying cards, and the process has never been easier because there's so many ways to do it. You can use the buy list feature on the website. You can mail your cards in and let SCG do the work for you. You can make an appointment and come into the store to do your business in person. And if your collection is big enough, you can make that appointment and have SCG come to you. So pick whichever is best for your situation. And remember that when trading cards into SCG, if you're trading for store credit, you will get a 30% bonus.
And if you're a fan of Commander Versus, just want to point out they're back. Commander Versus. I don't know if we have a bumper for. I just want to pitch them, but specifically, so I could say that if you do come into the home store in Roanoke, Virginia, you can ask for Jonathan Suarez or Justin Parnell by name, and I think they have to come up and talk to you. So if you're big fans of them, you come bother them.
They are legally required.
That's not legally.
No.
But, all right.
It's like literally a section in the employee handbook.
If a customer asks for you, dance. You got to dance.
Dance, monkey, dance.
I don't know if it's the last one, but next up, if you want to check out the new set that's coming out for Magic the Gathering this fall, you can check out Innistrad Midnight Hunt. If you go to startsegames.com/previews, you can check out all the sealed product that we have available for pre-order. As we get previews for the set, we will be adding those to the preview list so that you can pre-order those. But right now, we just have those boxes of product, booster packs, fat packs, stuff like that.
A bunch of stuff. And we're going to start getting preview season on Thursday. So...
unfortunately, we won't be able to play it on Versus, though.
Yeah.
But we can talk about it. We should set aside like 30 minutes to talk about the preview cards.
A lot of the questions will be about them. Don't you worry.
Okay.
We'll have plenty of talk about Innistrad Midnight Hunt on Thursday's show. But last order of business for today, we would like to thank our sponsor, Coalesce Apparel. If you like the shirts that we wear, you can find their entire collection of T-shirts, hoodies, and stickers at coalesceapparel.shop. And be sure to use the gift code SCG when checking out to get 10% off of your purchase there as well.
Yeah, not only do you get 10%, but it also tells Cedric that that's where it came from. And if you buy stuff with the code SCG, is it SCG?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Coalesce will be happy that they are our sponsor.
Yeah. And maybe we get cool new things.
Yeah. I'm ready. Can we get new chairs? Are these are fine still, I guess. I mean, they're lasting pretty good. They never gave me one, though, so I'm mad about it.
Sure. Well, right now I'm mad because they haven't sent me any NBA Jam shirts from Coalesce yet. I want the NBA Jam shirts.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want all of them. I want them to make an NBA Jam shirt of Elvish Visionary and Wireward Symbiote.
Ooh, are they in the process of making you and Corey's shirt?
No, that's not a thing yet.
Oh.
Maybe one day.
But you can check out the Roll Todd shirt. I have a shirt in there. I don't know if I have a gift code anymore, so just use SCG's.
Yeah.
SCG. That's the gift code.
There we go.
There you go. Roll
Okay,
Todd.
that is going to be it for a 2-day.
How'd I do? I feel like I did pretty good.
Yeah, you were
I feel
great.
like I kicked ass.
And you're going to be great on Thursday, too. We're going to have Todd here on Versus all week, so be sure to join us on Thursday, same time, same place, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Time here at twitch.tv/Star City Games. Todd will be here on Thursday's show, and then next week we'll be back to me against Corey. So, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to be doing for that show, but we'll let y'all know on the social media. You can find Todd at your Tandy now, right?
Tandy MTG. It's
Yeah.
no longer Strong Sad.
And I'm at Ross Hunted, so be sure to follow us, keep abreast of what's going on with Versus this week, and we hope to see you on Thursday. So for Rob, Todd, I'm Ross. We'll see you then.
Finger guns.